It's Law Nation Sports. Let me know if the audio is straight. Let's continue to grind, to shine. As the room fill up, be sure to smash the like button. Let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Cowboys players, appreciate those who watch all of the episode. Thank you guys so much. Cowboys players' mindset and approach to the 2023 season, plus more. Let's get it. 5, 4, 3, 2.
Come on, man.
Let's get it. Slap the like button for your boy. Mama said there'll be days just like this. Come on. Come on. Hey. Ho. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's roll. Appreciate everybody. Shout out to you, JT. Thank you. He says, awesome video. Jay Carter, I see you in the chat. He says, day one Mozzie fan. I appreciate you, man. Hey, if you day one Mozzie guy, then let me know in the chat. You know, let me know. Shout out to everybody for being part of it, man. I see you, Thaddeus from Mobile, Alabama. Shout out to everybody for tuning in. Shout out to the notification squad, Al Kareem. Appreciate you so much. If you guys didn't get a chance to check out the video, the quasi analysis, because I didn't dive too much on Eric Scott, just go and check out the Twitter page, go and check out the YouTube video, as well as the Instagram and Facebook. We are live on multiple outlets here, and we talked about this kid right here, his ability to track and trace. He's a 6 foot. I say he's more of a 6'1" guy. Some scouting reports got him at 6'2", and I've seen some scouting reports got him at 6 foot. So it don't matter really the height, as long as he can attract, attack, get to the ball, knock it out. He can play down inside. He can be a boundary guy as well. He had 5 INTs in his collegiate career. Before he got to Southern Miss, he also was a JUCO guy. And in JUCO, he had like 9 interceptions. So that what elevated him from Butler JUCO over to Southern Miss. And he could be the surprise guy out of the draft. And as much as we can probably bash him, right? And as much as somebody can say, well, hey, Law, you know, you just putting lipstick on a pig at this point. We can all look back and say to ourselves, the Dallas Cowboys, they earn every right for the benefit of the doubt, right? And you don't have to bring up Miss Piggy at all, because at the end of the day, you bring up Miss Piggy now, you're going to end up eating crow later, right? So as we get her out the way, I know she can cover. I know she got the lipstick and everything. And a lot of people say, well, why did Cowboys give up draft capital for them? But I can tell you, man, even Miss Piggy can't cover this, because of the simple fact that the Dallas Cowboys track record and their history with guys like this is phenomenal, right? So let's give a round of applause for the front office and all what they do. And that's not me putting lipstick on a pig, but this is oh, wait and see type of moment. And if anybody can get into a spot in a position, it should be a defensive back. And we've seen it from, dare I say, DeRon Bland, right? So appreciate him and appreciate all of you guys for tuning in. And this is what the Cowboys do. We would take nothing and turn it into something, right? And on the back end, I think that's where Will McClay is in his bag at, on the back end of the roster, right? Well, on the back end of the trades. No. I'm getting it all wrong. On the back end of the drafting, you know? Yeah, that's a better way to say it, on the back end. So Cowboy Nation, look out. I don't know what number he's going to be wearing. I think it's 37, right? We will see whether or not, you know, in training camp in Oxnard or OTAs, we'll be looking for number 37. He can make that number great. right? Appreciate you, Ron. Thank you for jumping in. So over it. Appreciate you. Shout out to Sadiq that's in the chat. She always telling me good things and words of encouragement and things like that. I thank everybody who supported me and getting the merch or what have you. Shout out to Merch Gang. I really appreciate y'all so much. I got some negative feedback too, man. You know, I had like a whole bunch of people say, hey man, that logo and that 100K is trash, man. Hey man, but I'm gonna tell you, man, it's not about, look, I get it. I'm not a graphic designer, but man, I make everything and anything look good. Don't it look good on me, y'all? It look good on me. That's all that matter, right? That's all that matter, Cowboy Nation, as long as it look good on me, you know? So the people that was talking bad, I checked out y'all channel. One dude had a nerve and the audacity to talk about my design, and he had only a spoonful of people watching him with his horrible design. Come on, y'all. Come on. He said yes indeed. So let's go. Somebody said right now, I'm rocking this one. I'm rocking this one for law. And then he got the saying on the back, if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep. And here's another thing. I haven't did the grand opening yet. I'm just reserving everything. And don't y'all see what I got right here? You know, ooh, I can't wait to open it up, baby. It's going to be lovely. You know, it's going to be lovely. You know, I might just do the whole video like this, man. Like, yeah, man, yeah, I'm going to do the whole live. Like, yeah, Law's talking right now, man. If you don't got... I ain't going to be one of those. Y'all know I'm humble, but I'm not going to be one of those because I know that, you know, it's not about me. It's all about the people that help me get along that way. And I can't wait, baby. I can't wait, man. I appreciate y'all so much. Let's get it right into it. Thank y'all. If y'all have not heard, y'all going to hear it now. Hit the like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go. This is my sound effects right here. Woo! That sound effects right there, boy. As long as y'all can't hear it, as long as y'all can't smell it, right? Y'all say, you know, Law's blowing some fire over there. I wonder if he got hot breath. Yes, indeed. Yoga flaming it, baby. So we're going to give credit, kudos, and credence to my guy, John Machota. Great job of capturing most of this stuff. It's a little faint with the audio. Let me do this one thing right here so I can read your comments while we play some of the audio with this. Okay, y'all bear with me. We here for a little while, right? We here for a little while. All right, and go.
So, you know,
I'm gonna have to translate.
Hopefully, you know, something gets figured out. You know, I love Dallas. I love being here. So, you know, we'll see.
All right, so this is what I'm gonna be the translation law. You know what I'm saying? Because the back audio, he didn't do it with a shotgun mic, so you're gonna hear all of the stuff. So basically, and I'm gonna give you guys my thoughts and my analysis and my approach to what he's saying. Basically, Trayvon Diggs, he entered in his final year of his rookie's contract. On his future, what he said basically is this right here, that he loved Dallas. He loved to play in Dallas. But love can only take you so far when it's a one-way road, basically. Just because you might love a thing or just because you like something doesn't mean that it's reciprocal. Doesn't mean that the other side love it too. So they're going to have to figure out and crunch the numbers. Now, everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And a lot of people will tell you, yeah, I love you. I want to be with you. And the whole time, man, I ain't giving away too many things. But the whole time when things don't move swiftly, meaning that they are looking for a better deal. That's on both sides of it. They are looking for a better deal. So the Cowboys, hopefully, it will be a situation and scenario that they can come to an agreement and keep Trayvon Diggs here. Yes, indeed. Don't spoil. Write this down. You know, write this down. Please write this down and commit it to memory. Don't spoil what you have by desiring the things that you don't have. Because at one point in time, The very much thing that you do have was something you dreamed for, longed for, wished for, right? So for many a moons, the Cowboys were saying that, hey, we need us a cornerback that can get INTs. We need us a cornerback that's reliable, that can play on Sunday, right? Well, we got that now. Now what you going to do with him? You know, be precise on your prayers, right? Lord, congrats. I am a winner and I won the Power Hands giveaway. Yes, indeed. Yes, that's Sadiq. Thank you for your support, your love and adulations for the nation. Yes, indeed. Sadiq is one of the Power Hands winner, and let me know, did they contact you? Did they reach out to you as well, Sadiq, to give you your Power Hands stuff? I really appreciate you. So next we finna move to Chris Carter's son. He do look like Chris Carter with dreads, don't he? Yes, but let's listen to what he had to say. This is Stephon Gilmore.
You watched the film from last year, and you can see it. So last year was last year. And like I say, every year I turn the page, and I prove myself every year. So that's how I look at it.
Looks like you were healthy for the first time in a while.
Yeah.
Was that part of it? Just finding
for sure. I mean, you go through things in your career. You got to fight through it. I feel good now, running around, and best I felt in 2 or 3 years. So
all right, let me paraphrase what he said basically, because what was that in my white tee? I didn't hear that song in a long time. What was the name of that song that was in the background? That Ty Dolla $ign. If y'all say I look like James Harden, well, actually James Harden look like me because I'm 11 years older than him. But if I look like James Harden, then he do look like Ty Dolla $ign and Chris Carter, But basically, he's saying that he's feeling the best that he ever felt in 2 or 3 years. Now, I love to hear this from the older gentleman, right? Oh, that's Nuck if you buck, right? I appreciate you, Kevin. Yeah, yeah, appreciate you. Nuck if you buck. I thought it was in my white tee. Same beat, almost, but neither here nor there. I would say this right here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to rewind and hear what he say after training camp, right? After OTAs and beyond, right? And see if he's feeling the best that he ever felt, because when you get, up in the age there, you can say, yeah, I feel good, man. It's the best I ever felt. And then, you get out there in the sun and it's beating you up in the heat, the triple heats or what have you. The good thing about the Cowboys world, hear me out. The good thing about the Cowboys world is this right here, Cowboys Nation, that we may have a few days in this Frisco heat, but we get in the plane and we fly out to Oxnard. You know what I'm saying? We fly out there where it's 72 to 73 degrees year round. That's where we go. That's where we tend to go. All right. So we don't have to really boil up in the heat. We don't have to. Now, shout out to Valley Ranch and everything down there. And shout out to, what was the name? Let me see. Can y'all help a brother out? What was the name that the Cowboys workout facility in Texas, when they used to go down there, I think it's San Antonio? What was that name? Y'all help me out, man. It's not like we got to go down there. You know what I'm saying? What was the name of that workout facility? That's where Jimmy Johnson and them went to, where the heat and the sweat sweating. You know what I'm saying? The Alamo Bowl? No. I'm talking about for off-season training. It was Valley Ranch. Okay, so that's where Valley Ranch at. Yes, indeed. Where's the asthma field is over there type of talk and conversation. Yes, indeed. Yeah, it was Valley Ranch. Appreciate y'all. So Valley Ranch, your sweat be sweating. You know what I'm saying? You would think it's a concentration camp. Well, one of those Ventura, love Oxnard, love my Cowboys. Yeah, I love that aspect of it. You know what I'm saying? Because that is a whole lot better than being at Valley Ranch. You know what I'm saying? Whereas you got all of the factors that you may think that you're on a plantation minus the whips, because you be out there in this triple, quadruple heats of the world where the sweat is sweating. The sweat is telling you, come on up out of here. And you out here singing, ain't gonna let nobody turn me around, turn me around. So I'm glad that those boys don't have to fall under those conditionings. And pay attention to the NFL. Nobody's really in those triple heats anymore. The NFL became a whole lot stressful with those tour days and beyond, man. Valley Ranch near Addison, yeah, no more of that. I thought we used to train somewhere else down there in San Antonio. Y'all let me know what's the name of that facility and workout. But let's get back to it, man. Don't try to counsel me now. Don't counsel me. You don't counsel me. Law is comparing this to slave. No, don't counsel me, y'all. Let's listen to Brandon Cooks, and let me know if you guys can quote unquote hear this too. Now, the backstory of Brandon Cooks, he's also is giving love to a quarterback. But let's listen to what he had to say.
Some great ones, and we've been throwing. I got to tell you that guy can sling that ball, and I'm just excited to be able to get going, no doubt. That's all I can say. He's special. That ball come out his hand. He's special with it. His natural-born leadership. There's a couple guys I've been around that can lead a team, and the way that he's doing it, to be this young is unbelievable.
Did y'all hear what he said, y'all? Shoot. Did y'all hear what that brother said about Rain Dakota Prescott?
I got nothing but love for you, baby. Got nothing but love for you, baby. I got nothing but love for you, baby.
Y'all sing it with him.
Got nothing but love for you, baby.
Brought the hearts out there, man. Shoot. All right, so Brandon Cooks over here showing love for Rain Dakota Prescott, and he says basically he played with Tom Brady. He played with Drew Brees. So I want to know, and I need to know, and I got to know, is it or is it not? Put no cap if it is, and put yes, it's cap if it is.
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now.
So let me know in the chat, man. I'll read y'all comments, man. You know, be like, there ain't no cap, man. No, there's no cap right there. There's no cap. There's no cap. And then just type cap if it's cap. You know what I'm saying? Oh, come on. I got 2 caps. Come on, man. Where my no cap people at, man? Come on. No cap. If that's what Brandon should have said, no cap. That boy can sling it. That's what he should have said. You know what I'm saying? And then all of the youth, all of the younger folks, and everybody with this particular way of speaking would have said, yeah, there's no cap. Okay, I got 1, 2, no cap, no cap. Yes, indeed. Okay, I got a lot of no cap. Appreciate y'all so much, man. Yes, indeed. Let's go, man. If you put down cap, that's all cap that he's saying over there, then I'm going to have to tell you, man.
I ain't mad.
I ain't mad at you, though. I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you.
I ain't mad at you, man. I ain't mad at you because here's what I want from Rain Dakota Prescott. MVP Prescott. I'm already claiming it. You know what I'm saying? I'm precise with what I want. You know what I'm saying? So I'm precise with I want Super Bowl MVP Prescott. I want all of those things. I'm naming it and I'm claiming it. But here's the thing. I want him to earn every grain of sweat, salt, or respect. And if he still got it, it is going into his 7th year or 8th year, whatever year it is now, I still want him to literally, say it with me, not be comfortable. I really do. So, yes, indeed. I'm precise with it, you know. I'm precise with the prayer, you know. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So let's go with it. So if if that is the situation, y'all want to hold that brother feet to the fire for what he said, then let's go. All right, so and I hope that you guys can hear. Let me get these likes up off of it. But make sure y'all hit that like button for your boy, right? Y'all make sure y'all hitting that like button over there. How many people we got watching? We only got a spoonful of people. Man, y'all hit that like button, man. You know, are y'all ready for me to go already? Let's go.
Being dynamic. I mean, being able to make plays no matter which way, deep, short, intermediate, it really don't matter. Just coming in, being dynamic.
You still 4'3"?
Oh, no question.
No question.
No question.
And lost nothing with age.
No, I take care of my body.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what I invest in, my body.
All right, man. He said he invests in his body. He said he's still a 4'3" guy. He might be a 4'4" guy. You know, we hold on to our numbers, man, what we ran. Shoot, I ran a 4'4" way back in high school. You know what I'm saying? I still say, hey, I'm a 4'4" guy, you know? It was over 20 years ago, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm still a 4'4" guy. Yeah, man. But, y'all type in there in the chat, cap or no cap, let me know if that's cap that he's a 4'3" guy still, or there's no cap. And he got his cap to the back, so he's still youthful with it. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's listen to Ray Dakota Prescott, man. Let's listen to what he got to say.
More in tune?
Yeah.
No, probably less in tune than ever, really, to be honest with you. Y'all know me, and y'all know every offseason for me to go in there and get better as best as I can, and that's stuff that I leave to the Cowboys and I leave to my agent. They got it done years ago, and when it's time to get it done again, I trust in both of them. And as Steven has said, it might happen overnight. Who knows, right? But that's not any of my concerns or my thought process.
So basically, this is Dak Prescott on his next contract. He's not rushing it. He's not hasting it. He said that it's going to take care of it for itself. And he said it might happen overnight. So, wait a minute. I love this game. Is that no cap or cap for Dak? You know what I'm saying? Let me pour my good nutrients in this thing right here. Ooh, yeah. Yeah. The best water you can drink. Allegedly. Facebook, the best water you can drink. It's harmless. It's harvest. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, cap or no cap, I'm just saying. But neither here nor there. I think that the Cowboys need to go ahead and solidify that contract. But neither here nor there. Let's hear what Dak Prescott got to say on Brandon Cooks.
Definitely. The moment that guy showed up, just watching him in the workouts, the way he just carries himself from drill to drill, what he does pre-workouts, post-workouts, to take care of his body and to make sure he has that speed and keeps the productivity that he's had over his career is impressive. But then when you're just throwing to him, it stands out. His speed is different than many others, but as I said, once again, just the way he approaches the game, his knowledge. He's already been helping CD, helping those young guys, playing cornerback, teaching them little nuances of the route running that is going to be huge for me and is going to be huge for the room.
So he's saying that the speed is there. His speed is different. He's already showing his leadership as it relates to the veteran aspect to it. So that's a plus. And the one thing that I'm going to say here, no shade, no shame upon Noah Brown, but I got to just bring up Noah Brown and, of course, James Washington. We didn't hear that those boys were teaching and telling CeeDee Lamb tricks and stuff like that, right? But we do hear Brandon Cook saying, hey, CD, that mean that, man, that's a lot of stuff that we don't see, that those boys been getting it out of the mud. We only see a fraction of it, right? So that's good stuff. And that's no cap right there. That's no cap. There's no cap. No cap. All right, let's move to Dak Prescott thoughts and his philosophy. Shout out to John Machota. Let's give a hand. Let's put a round of applause to John. Yeah. Yeah. That's good stuff. All right, so this is Dak Prescott thoughts on the offense. And the good thing about this, ladies and gentlemen, when Dak was speaking, y'all noticed the music and the noise in the background dissipated. It quieted down so y'all can listen to what he had to say.
Yeah, things have been great, honestly. Things have been great. The way that the coaches are working together, you can see their chemistry. You can see how together they are, and just making sure that they give us everything detailed and give it to us the right way, the first way. And right now, it's about getting comfortable at the plays that we want to run and finding out who exactly we're going to be and what we run best. So right now, it's just taking as many bats, as many reps as we can of getting the plays, learning the plays, making the changes that we have on plays that we already have, and then really just finding the way that Mike's going to call this game.
No doubt. So he said listening to the offense and how they had given it to him, etc. And I get it. JR says Amari helped CD when he was here. Same old. Did you know, JR? Let me put you in a room right quick, JR. Did you know that no Cowboy receiver in Cowboys history had the numbers that CD Lamb did in his second year? In the Cowboys history. Did you know, JR, that CD Lamb in his first 3 years eclipsed every single Cowboy wide receiver numbers in the history? And the thing is, the difference between CD Lamb and all of those other guys that's around the NFL now is the levels of expectations. You see, year 1, year 2, year 3, people already was comparing CD Lamb to the elite wide receivers. They were already comparing CD Lamb. Oh, he's not this, he's not that, right? No other positioning group gets scrutinized by their fan base and the pundits and critics like Cowboys players. No one. Heavy is the crown. I get all of that. But the dude over there, Jay Jetta for the Vikings, all he had to do is live up beyond the expectations of Chris Carter and, of course, Randy Moss. But their media approach, they probably have 3 or 4 guys in their media room. Cowboys, 40, right? So it's always the situation and scenarios that you can only imagine. If CD Lamb was able to get coached up by Amari Cooper, which we all say that's a benefit to him, right? There's nothing wrong with that. If he was doing that in his second year, lo and behold, what you would have think that heading into his third season, what he would have became if you still had those levels of experiences in the room. A lot of people discount the levels of experiences because it comes from a level of hate. And I'm not saying, JR, that you're hating, but what I'm saying is that you are piggyback off of what the 4-letter and 3-letter networks are saying. See, the other expectations to the offense. What if I told you, guys, that CD Lamb was under the mercy of learning an offense from a guy that was his second year ever calling plays? His name was Kellen Moore. In his second year, that was Kellen Moore's third year ever calling plays. So there's levels to experiences, and when you have someone that don't have it, they can't pull upon it and they can't give it to you. And that is, my friend, the Cowboys' way of us being a stick in the mud or walking through concrete or walking in quicksand, is expecting to have the levels of expectations of someone being from here to here without knowledge. And that is the hardest thing. This football game that we see and watch, this is not checkers. This is chess. And I know from the outside and from the 4-letter and the 3-letter network, they're going to look for shift blaming. But in the real things of everything, the realism is the Cowboys were being operated with a young offensive mind guy who didn't even get it out of the mud the correct and proper way. Think about this. People marvel at Kyle Shanahan and as well as the guy that coach over there, his name at the tip of my tongue, for the Rams. But what if I told you that those guys got it out of the mud the right way? They went through their lumps. They went through their bruising. They went through all of their hardships when they was at Washington team, right? So when you start doing those things, when you start looking into those situations and those avenues, that those boys got it the right way. There's no comfort in success. And that is the reality of it. And Sean McVay, appreciate you. Yeah, so it wasn't like Sean McVay in his second year ever calling plays, oh, yeah, we're going to give you an opportunity to do it at the Rams. No, it didn't happen that way. Kyle Shanahan the same way. Experiences counts. Yes, indeed. All right. Let's go back to the educational class is over with. I hope you guys learned something from that. But neither here nor there. All right, so Michael Parsons, this is Michael Parsons speaking.
Yeah, we could be so much better. We got teams that can't just run away from play no more. We got that stability on the outside.
Turn the music back up.
That's going to get Kelvin, Deshaun, guys like that get going and things like that. So we're very excited.
What excites you about Overshown?
Overshown, man, I just like how athletic he is. Him and Devin Harper got a lot of similarities in their game. It's just all about just getting them ready for the game and getting them in the playbook and just putting that weight and getting them coming downhill and just letting that fear go.
No doubt, man. I'm going to decipher this for you guys. So basically, he talked about Overshown and Devin Harper. Harper is another guy. He's a 4'4", close to a 4'3" guy. He had the Achilles bruising. It didn't snap, it didn't tear, but he had a bruised Achilles. So he didn't pretty much play all last year. But in the games that he did play, like in preseason, he was a guy that, man, I even overlooked until he just mentioned it. So if he plays similar to Overshown, that's nice to me, or Overshown plays similar to Devin Harper, that's nice to me. I always look at it like, okay, look at my guy, Dono and J-Ron Curse. I thought that Overshown is anywhere in between those two boys, but didn't get a chance to really convey the thought of, hey, what about Harper? Yeah. So all of this, man, all of this could work. I really appreciate my guy of giving us the analysis on the fly like that. I think that Parsons, hear me out, I think that Parsons understand where this defense is trying to go, and we're trying to improve on some things. And I'm quite sure Parsons this year, heading into this season, he's going to pick up even more of the things that he didn't like the first two seasons. And now his third season, some things are going to, the NFL speed itself is going to slow down in a positive way for us, right? We got a super chat. Appreciate you. This is from Paul. Great show as always, Law. I just wanted to say I love the Cowboys' whole off-season decisions.
This is Sparta!
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you for that Spartan bomb, man. Appreciate you, bro. The real Agent Zero. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you, Tony, for jumping in as well, and too broke to pay attention. Thank you for your support. All right, let's listen to Parsons on adding a little weight.
Yeah, and just trying to stick in the run. You know, it's hard, you know, battling 300-pound guys at 245 pounds every week. You know, so I'm just trying to put 5 pounds of muscle, just eating right and just living right.
So basically, he's talking about adding an extra layer of protection. And there's nothing wrong with that, Parsons. Being able to work out, and so hopefully he can keep his quick twitch and his speed. Normally, when you gain a little weight and it's too quickly, you lose your quick twitch. But plyometric, calisthenics, and all of this could help him out. And if he can continue to gain weight the right and proper way, it will add into endurance before the season. Remember this, write this down. The Cowboys will have 3 games in 12 days. unless we keep banging on the table saying Cowboys shouldn't have 3 games in 12 days. And they removed that. But 9 times out of 10, the Cowboys down the stretch, you're going to have that extra layer of protection. And at 245, being able to go up against 300 guys and not losing any motor skills with that, shoo. It's about to get medieval, baby. It's about to get, yes, sir. That's what the kids say after they hit somebody out there on the field. So it's about to go down, and if he's doing it the right way, and if he's bulking, and if it's not clean bulk, and if it's that dirty stuff, then you will see the small tissue issues coming about and the tendons overworking itself. And I liken this to this right here. I've and I know different positions. The quarterback. When Tom Brady, just pay attention when he was playing, he probably can still play, y'all, but we retired him. But when Tom Brady switched his diet, I think it was anywhere between the year of 2012, 2013. The dude started drinking kale and he started looking frail, looking like Ichabod, lost a lot of weight. If you go back and look at Tom Brady's earlier stages of his career, he had the round face. And then all of a sudden he switched his diet up, drinking kale and green juice and all of that stuff. Got the sharp face over there. And when you start to look at it and understanding that proteins and allegedly, I'm using the word allegedly, that most of your minerals, right? It doesn't come from meat, right? It's about minerals. It's about the substance that can elongate your lifespan as it relates to your tendons. The synovial fluid, getting those things together. Who know about synovial fluid, right? And the flexibility and the dexterity. That's what he went through. So he became slinky Tom Brady, and that's what kept him upright. That's what allowed him not to get injured. Maybe Dak Prescott may have to switch over to that type of diet, right? It's not about being bulky and big and stuff like that. He was like Stretch Armstrong Brady. He switches his diet around, and he's more durable. And some of your, allegedly, I got to use allegedly because I don't want Facebook to come get me, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying that the food pyramid is wrong, but the food pyramid is only designed to create certain things, you know what I'm saying, for profit. And I ain't finna tell you about how the dairy allegedly strips the bone density from your body, right? But you get the true bone density of your body by eating green leafy vegetables, allegedly in certain kinds, you see what I'm saying? And staying away from GMO products, you see what I'm saying? So that's why, if you drink your kale, if you drink your celery juice and all of that stuff, you can still appear to look young, right? So allegedly, all of this is alleged. I don't want the certain people to get me for the harmless harvest that I'm spitting out to y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and then he got the vampire facial features. Yes, indeed, I see your beast mode. But some of your bigger mammals out here don't eat meat. A gorilla, man, he'll snatch you up real quick. You know what I'm saying? And of course, some of them still will eat for territorial things, but naturally, they don't crave it, is what I'm saying, right? An elephant, you know what I'm saying? A hippo. Some people be sitting back saying, hey, I stopped eating meat, but they still big. But look at the hippo. Look at the elephant. You need to stop eating collectively. That's a whole nother storyline. Yeah, I'm just saying, just got to mix it up. And don't forget about your Brazilian nuts, allegedly. You know what I'm saying? I'm burnt up, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Somebody right now sitting there, Law, can you just hush, man? I just love donuts. I love cherry pies and all of that other stuff. Give me my ham hock and my pork chop and everything else. But allegedly, just because you don't eat meat, you can still gain weight, is what I'm saying. Collectively, but you got to know what angles to eat and the natural foods and everything else to stay afloat, right? Brady drinking blood is from A-Row. Allegedly. You got to put allegedly. You know what I'm saying? Jennifer says he's gaining 10 pounds of muscle, but if he can critique his diet to gain 10 to 20 extra strength, you know what I'm saying, versus pounds, then he probably can allegedly elongate his career span. You know what I'm saying? That's all I'm saying, allegedly. You know, alleged. Everything is alleged. Don't want people to come after me, you know. Drinking the blood of the cow. Shout out to y'all, man. And no shade at anybody that partake in other things. That's what I'm saying, you know. But let's go to this other conversational piece about Mozzie. Here we go.
You know, he's going to add a tremendous help in the run game. He's slow, he's powerful, strong, big body. Something we've been missing, a young guy too, not just reach drafting. Trading for guys, just a young, big boulder that's going to really make a difference in his run defense and stuff like that. And just pushing the pocket.
Did you know about him before the draft?
Yeah, I know. I knew at the pick we were at that we could get him or maybe a corner. So that was like my guy that I was like, we should get him and the guy from Pitt, Kalansi.
What? Kalijah Cansey. So I knew it. He saw the same thing I saw, baby. See, he like Kalijah. Some of y'all didn't like Kalijah, but he liked Kalijah too. So yes, I knew. I said I know my eyes didn't hit me up the bad way. I knew what I was seeing. Right? Come on, let's go. But as we look back at everything, as we go over everything, ladies and gentlemen, you know. And you over there in the corner know that we needed big help down inside. We needed somebody that could push the pocket back. I'm talking about peel that thing back, put it on a skillet. If you forget to slice the edges on that bologna, it will rise up. I'm talking about that type of pressure from the inside, right? Pause. But I'm talking about that type of levels of play. And I hope that Mozzie will be able to elevate his game to that level. We can't look at it as an isolated situation. Look at it from when Durday get his hands on him, from when Dan Quinn coach him up and teach him up. And Dan Quinn would not give him a comfortable bed. Dan Quinn be out there in Oxnard with a helmet on and pads and everything else. But let's go.
Yeah, he went to the Bucs like 5 picks before us, but it was either him or Mozzie for me.
What about Mozzie made you reach out to DQ and be like, this is the guy?
Just watching this film, watching this guy just running through guys, how explosive he is coming off, how he just holds his double team. It was just like, this is the type of guy we could really use, especially after losing Carlos. Yes, he's right. Carlos was a guy, Watkins, the dancing bear. He elevated his game since he's been here in Cowboys land. But although we lost him, he was a guy that was traditionally in his last days was playing primarily at that spot of what we call it 3-tech. And then the Cowboys said, let's convert him to 1-tech. And, he played solid for us, but he wasn't like over the heels type of stuff. Let me see if I can do this right quick. Let's play this one right quick because I want to get y'all crunk. So this is what my guy was pretty much doing. And y'all can check out this on my YouTube page. Listen to this right here.
Dominant, physical aggressive, always trying to be the aggressor, be the hammer, not the nail.
Be the hammer, not the nail.
I was lucky to have the staff that we had. They really sat down and with me and taught me the game, the X's and O's.
Teach me the game.
From behind the scenes, really put that on display, put a lot of work in it.
That's 800 pounds.
Dallas Cowboys select.
Let's go, man! Let's go!
Hey, Parson low key is funny as all out, man. You saw his face like. It just hit me. I never paid attention to that part when I edited. Parson was like. Oh my gosh, man. Appreciate you, Brittany. Lord, you are awesome. Appreciate you.
Spartan!
Appreciate you so much for that super chat. Let's watch it. Y'all good? Y'all good with time? Y'all want me to play it one more time? And just watch when partners go like this. Oh my gosh, man. One more time. I'm gonna do it one more time. I'm gonna play it one more time.
Dominant.
Yeah. Dominant.
Physical aggressive. Always trying to be aggressive. Be the hammer, not the nail.
Be the hammer, not the nail. Come on.
I was lucky to have the staff that we had. They really sat down and with me and taught me the game, the exercises. They taught me the game from behind the scenes. Really put that on display. Put a lot of work in.
That beat go hard. Yeah. Watch this. Watch Parsons' face.
The Dallas Cowboys select.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go.
All right, man. Let me stop playing. But shout out to Mozzie, man. Shout out to him, man. He's 330, but he ain't belly 330. You know what I'm saying? Now you see some of those 330, 340 guys with the belly and everything. So he's not belly 330. He's a swole dude. So I like that more, gut line and everything. That let me know that, shoot, his strength comes from his core, right? And he can move some stuff around. And that's a good thing for us. Langford, appreciate you. Micah said Dak knew. Yes, he knew it. Yes, indeed. All right, so shout out to him. And he said Dak knew. So shout out to John Machota. I don't know. We already played this from Cowboys veteran.
Since I got into the league, I always ask him questions like when I first started. Now I got him on my team so I can bug him every day.
You got the jersey, you or Micah?
Micah got the jersey.
Did you get a new one? You gonna get one down?
Yeah, I'm gonna get the Cowboys one.
Okay.
How did you kind of establish yourself as one of the premier corners in the game? What do you talk to him about now?
Just how to stay consistent, how to slow the game down even more, because when I watch him when he plays, he literally plays in slow motion, but it's really fast, but he's so smart and so just, ball savvy that it looks like he's walking on water and he make it look so easy. So, I want to learn how to do that and learn how to just take.
Come on, man. Come on with it. You're going to learn how to do it now. Shout out to John Machota, man. Be sure to check him out. He's a good guy, cool guy, and unbelievable beat writer and all of the things that he's been doing covering the Cowboys from the athletic side and previously on the Dallas Morning News, man. Never get mad at me using his content and his stuff, man. Always a good, wholesome guy, man. So appreciate him. If you ever met John Machota, you know who I'm saying. If you ever met him, man, he's a real good guy. And that's the link to his Twitter account. So be sure to check him out. You don't have to say, hey, man, Law told me to check you out, because y'all should already been knowing about him. DC for Life says, that's funny right there, only Law. Let's freaking go, Cowboys. Get them. Get them likes up, y'all. You know what I'm saying? If y'all don't know, if you don't know, now you know. Come on, man. Y'all want me to keep going? Y'all want me to keep going, or y'all want me to stop over here, man? Y'all hit that like button. Share this content, man. This is unbelievable work, man. I'm a one-man army over here, man. Come on, y'all. Yes, indeed, man. So y'all hit that like button, share this content. Real talk, let me see. What's my like report? Y'all liking what I'm saying? I realize that y'all be forgetting to hit that like button, man. And it just begun. It's be getting crazy over here, It's getting crazy. All right, good. I need to see it all on the screen before I get this segue in. And I ain't talking about, yeah. Y'all, I see y'all hitting them now. Yeah, get it on up there. All right. I'm only saying it so I'm buying time for this audio to load. Y'all notice that? That's how you got to segue. When you segue in, when you by yourself, you got what we call it in the podcast world is dead space. Dead air space. You don't want no podcast with this dead air space, so you want to continue to talk. So I talk to you guys about 2-3 hours with no commercial break. See, 4 Ladder, 3 Ladder Network. We'll be right back after these commercials. They be cussing each other. Dang it, you said the wrong report. He's number 38, not 35. You know, all of that stuff. Producers all in their ears and stuff.
And I'm not denigrating any of the outside, and there's nobody else winning. I'm going to go.
You said, hey now, Dallas, let's get this guy some help. What type of reaction? Can you just reset that video that you made and your thoughts after they went and did what you suggested in getting Mozzie Smith in round one?
Well, I was sitting there on Tuesday before the draft in Los Angeles, and it was like 6 o'clock. I'm done all my responsibilities for the day, and I'm like, I don't want to go to the hotel. I don't want to go out. Let me go watch every pass rush of Micah.
I love that.
Let me just see the good, the bad, and where he needs help. So I text him about 100 pass rushes into it. I'm like, dude, does anybody ever get any push on your defense? Like, it's just you winning on the outside, and there's nobody else winning, like play after play. He goes, just tell me, don't watch all these balls. Just tell me how I can get better. So I tell him what I think that he could do better. And then I'm like, it's just obvious. Like, they've got no interior push. Like, I live in Philly.
Man, let me pause it right quick. Anytime someone is willing to get beat up to get better, quadruple gold stars for me. Quadruple. When you are saying, hey, I want to be the best. I remember Aaron Donald practicing with DeMarcus Ware, right? And I'm sitting there like, man, how come the players at the time on the Cowboys team is not reaching out to DeMarcus Ware? We got all of these resources, all of these benefits right here. You know, you got to seek out and find the best to be the best, y'all. And I love to hear Parsons saying, okay, hey, Brian Baldinger, you know, and it could be cap. I don't know for sure. And I ain't finna say that this man is capping live on TV or radio. But he could have reached out to Parsons and said, hey, man, let me comb through some of these videos to see where you can improve at. And we all know that Parsons can win. He had 90 pressures. 90. Y'all put that into your mindset. 90 pressures. And the next person that was close on his team to the amount of pressures Parsons had was down in the 40s and the 50s. That's bull sugar, right? Come on, man. We need other people, man, to get close to those type of pressure moments. You can't just have one guy with 90 pressures and everybody else in the 40s, right? That's the equivalent to somebody living in the 1940s and somebody living in the 90s. Those are way far from each other, right? So what I'm saying here collectively, that if we can get somebody to give us 80 or 70, man, we ain't trying to tell y'all to get 90 of them, you know, but we need somebody else, man, to push their weight around here, man. We do. And the Cowboys, and I'm not talking about you, D-Law, you my boy. Shout out to the Laws. But we definitely need some help with pressures, getting off of your double teams, beating your man. I can't even say that now without the kids saying, hey. Well, beating your man, pause. You know what I'm saying? Come on, let's go.
Philadelphia, I see Javon Hargrave crush the pocket. I watched the Kansas City Chiefs win a Super Bowl. I watched Chris Jones just crush the pocket from the inside. The Cowboys don't have anything like that. And I'm not denigrating any of their players on their team, but that's not what they can do. And I thought that would be the best thing that could help Micah. Not just help Micah, like pad his stats and get 20 sacks like he's capable of, but it would lead to even more takeaways because the pressure that Mike is putting on him, they should have caught a lot more interceptions than they did.
True.
And so I just thought that was as good as the defense has been, which has been good.
Been good.
They could be better.
Could be better.
A guy like Mozzie could really help out this defense.
Baldy, have you ever met a player like Micah Parsons who has the sort of generational talent that he does, but he feels like a sponge, like he's always wanting more information to get better? Is that authentic in your experience? And is there anyone like him
Well, I think, the difference between Micah, honestly, and almost everybody else, it's always the difference, Jane, between being great and being very good. He never seems to tire. He never seems to get fatigued. And he maybe it's his wrestling background, but you can almost never find him on the ground. So, those two things are pretty special about any football player on defense. They're not on the ground because you can't make a play on the ground. Even when guys are cutting you and you're trying to get through, the interior of somebody's offensive line and all this stuff. The guy stays on his feet and he seems indefatigable. But there's players out there that just want to be great, and I think that's where he's at. He's been like that since day one.
No doubt, and that's a great observation from Brian Baldinger. There were guys that's coming out of the draft before Parsons was drafted, of course. Who remember Isaiah Simmons, right? He was the Parsons supposed to be before Parsons, but it goes to show you that it also entails that we don't know what Parsons would have been like if he went to the wrong system, right? If he utilized differently, if somebody didn't see what this particular defense coordinator and the team that's around him were able to see, right? I'm not saying that Dan Quinn with Isaiah Simmons, we would have been talking about Isaiah Simmons in a different light. But what I'm saying is collectively is that it all depends on what system and scheme you go to. And I would tell you, Isaiah Simmons, I think that they didn't re-up his fifth-year option. And if he's out there on the street next year, knock on the door, say, hey, I got a cup of coffee for you, bring him on in. And especially the hardest thing that we're going to have to hear from this season is, will Dan Quinn be willing to stay? That's going to be the hardest thing, because what happened here, even when you're building something as beautiful as this is, you will have those who are willing to say, hey, I want that. I want that. I want that. And they'll rip apart the thing that you built. I'm greedy in a sense. There's no salary cap as it relates to coaching. I want this organization and franchise to figure out a way to keep the two kings philosophy. And I know everyone wants to be a king in their own castle. But at least if we can just hold on to McCarthy and Quinn for at least a 5-year plan or something like that, with these two together, then we can really see the works that these two can put together. But I know big egos and being the king of your own castle and always inspiring to do, things on your own is always the caveat, right? Big Sarge, I'm not even finna read that. Pause. Yes, indeed, man. But, sometimes we see that, right? We can see down the line, man, if you hold on to these two right here. Because, man, we held on to Jason Garrett for so long that even it's still into the psyche of the minds of most of you all, right? That in order for this team to be great on all aspects, we need to have the best defensive edge guy. We need to have the best offensive lineman. We need to have the very best quarterback. We need to have the very best wide receiver. And we need to have the best tight end. We need to have everything at its top, at its peak of being the best. And there's no elevations from the coaching staff to get those boys up to par, right? Des Bryant had to be great coming off the gate. The thing is, and I'm just only going to use Des Bryant as an example. Des Bryant, literally, when he was drafted by the Cowboys, he was the same player from that time frame until almost his last season with the Cowboys. No elevations of differences within the game. He came in with his natural talent that was given to him, and he left with the same thing. It took him his latter part, his last year with the Cowboys, for them to say, you know what, we need to work on X, Y, and Z. And that's when he reached out to D-Rob, always open, local guy. That's a trainer that's unbelievable in the Texas area. But the coaching never really took a player from here to here. technically. But, that is what it is. But we can only imagine if we had a system put into place. You know what I'm saying? God, dog, boy. The Cards declined their 5th-year option. Yep, on him. And there's no shot at my guy Dez, man. We think the world of him. But I'm just using that as a situation for us. We just never really the player come in, and that's just how it goes, man. Law at Browns called out CeeDee Lamb, and Lamb responded. Oh, wow. Which Brown? Javion, appreciate you, man. Colin Cowherd said that if we was in the AFC, we couldn't compete at that 4th best team in the NFC. How do you feel about that? This is from 24K. Logan, appreciate you. Thank you for your super chat. Javion said that A.J. Brown calls out CeeDee Lamb, and Lamb responded. Okay, I'm going to look that up, But to answer this super chat, that's Colin Cowherd, man. He's gonna weigh the odds, man. He got over 16 million subscribers on all platforms or what have you. So his voice will echo, right? His voice will echo. But being the loudest doesn't make you right? And on top of that, you see the Cowboys, we will always have the mindset collectively from the 4-letter, 3-letter network that the NFC East been the NFC least. But when you look at the NFC and its completions, right, for many of years, who did the Green Bay? What was the dominant team over there? The Green Bay Packers had to play the Lions, Bears, and the Vikings. None of those teams been as competitive or in a complete situation like the Cowboys every year. NFC East. Overall, our collectives, like no one have more Super Bowls than the NFC East. But everybody will say that the NFC East is the worst division on the planet. But those years that even when Tom Brady for the New England was winning Super Bowls, right? They had to play against the Jets, the Bills, and Miami. Now that he's gone, yes, now those teams are going up there. And when the teams finally in those divisions got a little heat, of course the Jets made it all the way beyond the playoffs, but you got beyond one game in the playoffs, but you guys get what I'm saying. So let me see what A.J. Brown said, because I think I can take it to Twitter, right, and see what A.J. Brown said, right, because it will be on Twitter, right? Is that recent or that's old? And let's see if I go here. I go like this, I go like that, and it says, this was 1 hour ago. A.J. Brown said, this from Philly Talk Podcast, said it's not the same. This ain't a shot to... It's not a shot, though. A.J. spoke high of CeeDee Lamb. Games multiple times. CeeDee nice. A.J. is just better. Okay, so here's what I'm reading here. Bear with me. Got my hooked on phonic eyes. I'm not talking. I'm not taking a shot at him either because he is cold. And y'all know I don't care about the rivalry either. Respectfully, stop comparing me to CD. He plays slot. I play outside and inside. Compare him to Cooper Kupp or guys like that. It's not the same. Choose your wide receiver one, A.J. Brown or CeeDee Lamb. And what did CeeDee Lamb had to say? Because I got to see what CeeDee Lamb response was. Let me see if CeeDee Lamb, did he ever say anything? All right, I'm going to trust y'all. What did CeeDee Lamb had to say in response? What did CeeDee Lamb had to say in response? Because we can go like, let me pull up PFF, and I know the team that went further in the playoffs into the Super Bowl became the first team to lose. Well, let me see CeeDee Lamb. I forgot his stats already, but let me see CeeDee Lamb, this last season stats. He had 148 targets, 107 receptions, 1,359 yards, 9 touchdowns, right? So that's in a vacuum. I think A.J. Brown is, a year or 2 years ahead of CeeDee Lamb. Let me know if I'm wrong, and I'm finna pull up all the A.J. stuff. And let's see. I think that A.J. Brown collectively played every game with his starting quarterback minus 1 game. Is that correct? Okay, so his starting quarterback was there every game minus 1 game. So let me see, 1,300 yards. He had 1,400 yards out of 137 targets. So he had less targets, more yards, and more touchdowns. And did he have any rushing touchdowns? Because everybody like to point that out. Hey, how many rushing touchdowns did he have? He didn't have none of those. And we're just looking at it from the aspect. Passer rating when targeted, 118. That's damn near good right there. Far as game from the numbers, the stat lines, there's not like he is light years far from CeeDee Lamb. And let's see what he did in 2021. Okay, so without his quarterback and with Ryan Tannehill, he had 869 yards, 5 touchdowns, right? Not hitting at 1,000. That's with a run-first team, okay? All right, so when we go to 2020, he had 1,075 yards, 11 tubs. This dude giving you double-digit touchdowns. Now, that was his other year, 1,000. So he had 1,000 yards, 19. What was his rookie year? So 19 was his rookie year. So just by doing the quick math alone, 52 receptions or what have you, it will be hard for me to compare these two things because of the fact that he played in a run-first scheme and system. I would say that both of those wide receivers are good at their own rate, but they are two styles and two different type of wide receivers. But CeeDee Lamb first 3 years, just by looking at a glimpse of it, is better than A.J. Brown's, his first 3 years. But what I can say is that this would be a neutralizer right here. If, and this is my only qualification, if both wide receivers have their quarterback and stay healthy, then I can look at it and say, man, well, CeeDee Lamb, he's on this level. He's going up. Now, A.J. Brown, he did that too. He went to a better team. And he went to a better team than what he was on with the Titans. But I think that the argument of, hey, I play on the outside, but dog, you do also play inside the slot too. And on top of that, from my information, from my knowledge too, let's not forget that they move CeeDee Lamb around. They don't just primarily line him up in the slot every doggone play. So let's understand that too. CeeDee has not yet peaked. Lamb will get better. Yes, he will get better. So it's not comparing technically. It's not comparing apples to apples. Those are like pretty much two different years or what have you. One can argue that, Lamb in his first 3 years better than Cooper Kupp. So Lamb can literally say, yeah, man, but I'm better than Cooper Kupp in his first 3 years. It took Cooper Kupp 4 years before he started to ascend. So there you go. It's just so hard to compare guys that's not in the same year or come out in the same year in the same set of circumstances, because you're going to always finagle that thing to fit your narrative.
One element of him trying to elevate his game is he's putting on some extra weight this season. I think, 10 pounds? How do you think adding some muscle to his frame will impact his game? And
this is back to my guy, Micah Parsons.
Is that a sign that we're going to see him getting plugged in a lot more there at defensive end?
Well, I think that should be his position. He's really good when they rush him from the linebacker position, but really there's no point to Micah out there covering the slot receiver. It's just no point to it. There's no point with him running down the field covering a tight end. Maybe a changeup now and then, but if I was an offensive lineman and I'm either blocking Micah or his backup or somebody else, and I'm watching him run down the field in a Tampa 2 covering the tight end, I'm like, good. Mm-hmm. Thank goodness I don't have to deal with that piece this play. I think it's probably the 10 pounds if he's doing that. I haven't talked to him about that, but if he is, more power off the edge. I think he could be more violent with his hands, and maybe Dan Quinn has a role with him rushing more than what we have seen the first 2 years.
Baldy, back to the Mozzie Smith pick specifically. I obviously Micah Parsons was really excited about it, but this is a guy that when the discussion started around here in Dallas, when people were trying to figure him out, this was not a guy we talked about a lot leading up to the draft. So there were some fans that were a little caught off guard and wondering, like, okay, what is this player? If you were to just give a snapshot of the player Mozzie Smith, how would you describe him?
Well, I'll say this. Well, he's incredibly powerful. He's very strong. He's got low center of gravity. I mean, he's physically pretty much like a freak. The way that he can just overpower people. Michigan plays a different style of defense. I remember when Rashawn Gary came out a couple years ago, Green Bay's first-round pick. He didn't have great sack numbers or anything, but you watch the way that they ask these players to play. It's like they read first and then they react. They don't just go. And I think you're going to see a much better pass rusher than what we saw at Michigan, just because the NFL is all about, getting to the quarterback, and it's not really like that in college. There's a read option fake in almost every single play. There's a RPO in almost every single play. Like defensive linemen in college, especially the Georgia guys, but Michigan as well, like they're not just firing off and going.
Let me pause right here, man. Let me say this one more time. Comparison is the thief of all joy. And so many times when you are, and hear me out, when you are either sensitive or insecure about yourself, you get frustrated when someone compare or make comparisons or put you on a certain situation. And you see that a lot from Eagles fans. You see that a lot from Eagles fans. And it spilled over to their players' psyche. That they like to go into the bag of, hey, comparison. Hey, I'm this, or we were able to do this in 17. Or in the last 20 years, we are more relevant, right? And it goes back to when you know what you got, you don't boast about it. You don't brag about it. You know what you got. When you know that you can walk onto a car lot and get any car that you want, you don't brag and boast about it. When you know you can go into a neighborhood and say, I want that particular house, or my pre-approval is this, I can get this X, Y, and Z things, you don't go and boast and brag about it. You ever notice, I don't walk around, beat on my chest and say, hey, man, I got 100,000 over here, man. What does this person's opinion got to do with anything with 500 subs? I know that the strength and the things and the glory don't come from me. You see, there's only one person that does the elevation. But those who insecure, right? For those who's not aware of where their strength and where their work and where all of the good things come from, they would like to point out and say, I'm this and I'm that over someone else. The number one goal would be let your play on the field do all of its work. Let your actions speak the louder than the words, right? But there's so many people that got things that either never had it before, right? Or they want to embellish, right? Saying that, yeah, man, you can tell the way I walk. I ain't around from here. You know what I'm saying? You can tell the aura when I enter the room that the alpha male is here, right? The room begins to get quiet, right? You don't have to boast about it. The reason why the lion in the Serengeti is considered the king of the jungle, and there's no jungle in the Serengeti because of his mindset, his attitude. The elephant is bigger. The elephant got tusks and everything that can maul down a tree. But a lion, when he's hungry, he would at least attempt to eat an elephant. But when you look back at those who don't have the things that the fortunate have, right? They began to rip down and tear upon. The whole argument earlier this past offseason, this past year, was Hassan from the Eagles community is better than Michael Parsons. Oh, Hassan, oh my goodness, man. He can bring forth because of all of the sacks that he created. But they don't contextualize the fact that what Brian Baldinger was just saying. When you have pressure down inside, ladies and gentlemen, that can peel that thing back when you require one or more than one person to slow down Javon Hargraves. And I'm not taking away from what the Eagles were able to do. But when you have that, a Javon Hargraves to get you double-digit sacks, as well as Fletcher Cox to get you 7 sacks, and the other boys from the interior to create pressure from the inside, of course, Hassan should be able to eat. But those who watch the tape understands that if you were to pick up Parsons and put him on that particular Eagles team, shoot, that dude would have all types of numbers and sacks. It would have been like, hey, man, I know we say play to no mercy. You know what I'm saying? We would have been yelling, hey, man, white flag, wave the white flag. Wave the white flag, because that dude would have been able to get off. But I want you guys to go back and listen to what Brian Baldinger just said. Now, it's not the NFL fault that the Cowboys neglected to get pressure from the inside, right? It's not that we are out here complaining and whining about it, but this is a situation where he is also explaining, not complaining, about the fact that the Cowboys didn't generate pressure. They were not able to get pressure from the interior, and you can't fabricate it. So what we made a move to go get Big Jonathan Hankins in the midseason. We saw some improvements on stopping the run, but also understand this, ladies and gentlemen, you can only fabricate pressure for so much with twist stunts and things like that. So that's why it's so important for the Cowboys to make this necessary move, since we didn't make it into free agency years back, as far as that interior situation early, right? We went and got Band-Aids to put over a bullet wound, but not knowing that even when you get shot by the bullet, you got to extract the bullet first, and then you got to suture it up, and then you got to put the ointments and the Band-Aids on, or the stitches and things like that. But we've been putting Band-Aids, baby, over the bullet wound. But you ever notice too, that the Eagles fans, they probably a third of my subscribers got the Philadelphia Eagles colors, and they support the nation. They love coming over here, and I appreciate y'all, man. You know, if y'all all left, we'll probably have 80,000 subscribers over right now. You know what I'm saying? Or 60,000. Y'all know y'all following the Cowboys, because when you're good and you have greatness around you, you want to be able to also compare yourself to it, right? You want to lean on it, and maybe if you can rub off and get some of this greatness, that it can get upon you and you can start speaking with the same temperament. Let me know if I'm live. Let me know if I'm lying live over here. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. You know, yes, indeed. I'm surgically getting them. Ain't that right, Justin D? You see, only a fool, right? And I ain't talking about you, Justin D, but only a fool, I'm talking about these Eagles, would say that the 5 is less than the 1, right? And the only to talk about the relevancy and the lateness of it, that since they won it lately, you know what I'm saying? That since they won it lately, that 1 trumps the 5. Only a fool would try to cash that check and watch it bounce back, and they can't get nothing in return from it. That's just what it is. Let's go, Cowboy Nation.
Like you have to in the NFL. And so I think you're going to see a different type of player at the NFL level than you are. Now, he still has a lot to learn. He looks like he knows how to get to the edge on a player. It looks like he's got some concept of how to rush the passer. But they don't run twist stunts at Michigan. They don't run fire zones. They don't. There's a lot of things they don't do there because of the conference they play. It's just college football in general. But I think you're going to see a really explosive, powerful player on the interior that they haven't had.
Brian Baldinger, former offensive lineman for the Cowboys, Colts, Philadelphia Eagles, and you can catch him on the NFL Network and his incredible Baldy's breakdowns, which you can find on our network and on Instagram. You know a thing or two about offensive line. The Cowboys went through 7 different offensive line combinations last year. When you look at the tape, Baldy, what was holding them up? And do you think the Cowboys did enough to address that position this offseason? And what can we expect from Mike Solari? Do you think he's the guy who can fix some of this stuff?
I played for Machine Gun Mike. He started his career in Dallas, James, back in 1986 or 87.
With Landry.
I mean, he was the backup offensive line coach. Just about everywhere Mike's been, he's had a good offensive line. He was with Pete Carroll for a while in Seattle. Yeah. They were really good.
Yeah.
He was in San Francisco after he left Dallas. I mean, he's been around the league quite a bit.
Been around the world, and
energy guy. Nobody's going to slack off, but it started really with the injuries, and so there's not much you can do. The rookie was really good except for the penalties last year, and there's not much you can do when you guys have, Terrence Steele goes down, your left tackle goes down. I mean, those things you have to adjust, and so. Nobody, I don't think they really wanted to sign Jason Peters at age 40 to come in and play, but Jason was fine. They just need to get healthy again. I think that's the biggest issue right now.
Yep, true that.
Connor McGovern goes in there at left guard. Smitty goes out there to left tackle. I mean, he's going back and forth, and he was good at both places. He moves bodies. But I think, can Tyrus stay healthy? I mean, that's really the question. If he can stay healthy, they're going to be fine. If he can't, then what are they going to do? And how are they going to adjust again this year? But, if you looked at just the draft, just taking an offensive tackle from North Carolina, kind of, a project, I don't know if that's enough considering the injuries they had last year. If they're just counting on Terrence to come in and just nail down the right tackle spot, which he's more than capable of doing, they'll be pretty good if he can do that.
The Cowboys front office earned every bit of grace and mercy with us right now. We're going to be talking the whole time. That's us. We fans. We supposed to be talking. You're going to talk about it, right? You're going to give your analysis on it live. And I told people all the time, allow me to be also fan and analytical guy. I need to keep my fandom with that. I need to, if I did research and my homework on a certain player, I need to have my moment, right? That's the whole point of this, right? To have your moment as a fan to speak fandom. People fail to realize the word fan derived from the word fanatic. So I'm fanatical. I'm a fanatical about the Cowboys, and I hope you guys are too, right? But what people try to do is, I'm a real fan. Like, are you a real fanatic? I'm going to keep it real as a fan. Nah, you're supposed to keep it real as a fanatic, right? And you look up the word fanatic, then let me know what you come up with, right? So when you are a fan of something, you're supposed to give your love, your joy, your adulations, your hate, your love as it relates to, I hate this particular way that they're moving, but I still love the way that they did that, And you're supposed to be that guy. I'm a rational fan. Huh? So you're a rational fanatic? Those things don't exist, right? So what I'm trying to say here is don't get caught up in the 4-letter to 3-letter network on when they're giving their analytical sides of it and they leave out the fact that they may not be a fanatic of your team. They may also love the Jets, but they're going to give you spoonful of hate from the Cowboys' perspective when they got validations and volumes on their particular platform and outlet, but they don't have no love for you from your point of view, right? So when you start thinking about that, look how the 4-letter to 3-letter network and everybody in New York are glowing over the Giants and the Jets. the Jets, they should be in the Super Bowl. They shouldn't even have to play during the regular season, postseason. They should go straight to the Super Bowl. According to all of those pundits, well, they ain't pundits over there because they really love their team. And it's crazy that most of the networks are in that area, in the East Coast, right? But you can sense the biasness, right? You know what I'm saying? You can really feel it. You can actually take a knife and cut it down the seam right there. And you can literally come out and say, yeah, I came away to say that these guys are being more lenient on the Jets and what they're doing, juxtaposed to what we do. But that's the story of another day. Yeah, Terrence Short says Dennis Green. Crown him, you know what I'm saying? Let's go.
You know, we talk about the best five. They've played a little bit of keep away with us as it relates to what we can really expect lining up there at the line of scrimmage. Where, if it was you, where are you lining up Terrence Steele and where are you lining up Tyler Smith?
Ooh, good question.
Well, you know, right now, the way things stand, I mean, I think Terrence Steele is a good right tackle. And I would keep him at right tackle. And I put Tyler in at left guard and Tyron at left tackle. You know, and Zach and Tyler inside. I mean, that's what I would do right now.
He messed me up.
Cowboys fans are going to...
Hold on, let me rewind just a little bit because I'm so around. I double heard him. Hold on, let me rewind.
You know, they'll be pretty good if he can do that.
You know, we talk about the best five. They've played a little bit of keep away with us as it relates to what we can really expect lining up there at the line of scrimmage. Where, if it was you, where are you lining up Terrence Steele and where are you lining up Tyler Smith?
Okay, I hear it better.
Well, you know, right now, the way things stand, I mean, I think Terrence Steele is a good right tackle.
Right tackle.
And I would keep him at right tackle. And I put Tyler in at left guard and Tyron at left tackle. You know, and Zach and Tyler inside. I mean, that's what I would do right now.
Oh, okay.
Cowboys fans are going to hate that answer.
No. I think that's how they got this roster list, and I might have to make multiples of. Bam. Let me see if I can make it. This is roster projections right here, and pretty much so. And this is before the draft, ladies and gentlemen. And let me see if I can get this out of the way right quick. He said basically this right here. And this dude, he watched tons of tape. Now, I'm not trying to take away from any other thought path of it. He said basically keep Terrence Steele at right tackle. Keep it just like this. Keep it just like this. Tyron Smith at left tackle. Tyler inside and Zach. I think that he's on the page. He's on the right page with this. But what we kind of hold feet to the fire is the health issues with the freak accidents that my guy keep having over there. And that is, ladies and gentlemen, the Tyron Smith. He keeps getting hurt freakishly, right? Like, it's not like in 2021, two guys rolled up under him. That's the two times he got hurt. He had got the C-19. It was crazy. He got hurt, you know, freakishly. And then last year, the last day at practice in Frisco, meat fell off the bone, right? It's just like snapped on him. So I don't know if he bust mirrors or if his house got like a ladder and he keeps walking up under the ladder, or when he drives at night, you know, he sees a cat and it's black and it crosses his path. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what's going on. But maybe if that's not the case in the scenario, in the situation, maybe he need to start busting mirrors, right? And see if the inverse work for him, right? Maybe he need to start walking under ladders, right? Maybe he need to go buy a handful of kittens and cats and put it in the streets and just say, hey, I'm going to walk right in front of the pathway. You know, maybe that would be the inverse of his situation. Maybe, just maybe, I don't know. But when healthy, Tyron Smith is by far one of the best offensive linemen out there. And I'm not finna take that and throw it out the window. I'm not. So until he get hurt, ladies and gentlemen, that's my left tackle. I know we may see him line up at right side, right tackle. We may still have our reservations on Terrence Steele. And the NFL owner, Jerry Jones, may not want to pay Terrence Steele his money and say, hey, we're going to slide you inside as guard and make you the swing tackle. Maybe that could be. But that's smoke and mirrors to me until I see it, right? That's just tongue in cheek. That's just Jerry Wayne Jones and his Johnny Walker Blue talking together, right? Having a good conversation. But until we see otherwise, this should be the lineup. This should be the roster. Tyron, Tyler, Zach, Terrence. That should be the roster.
That we're getting it from you.
Well, but why would they hate it?
Because Tyron, it's just like a matter of time. It's like, why not just put Tyler, your future left tackle, there, keep him there, versus having to switch and shuffle? Because you know Tyron's probably going to go down.
Man, look, man. Now, that's our fandom speaking. But these guys that got money invested into that, they ain't finna do all of that. We're going to play him until he get hurt. They got that mindset, man. They ain't finna just proactively, move Tyron out of the picture. No. And who's going to tell him, by the way? Who's going to tell him, hey, Tyron, man, we finna put you on the bench and let these other young kids get out here and get something out of the mud? You gonna say, well, what'd you say again? Oh, man, we were just playing, man. Big word, big perp, you know what I'm saying? So that's just how it goes, man. I think that if you wanted to get rid of Tyron Smith, the only way you should have got rid of him if you just trade him. You know what I'm saying? Do like the Washington team did with Trent Williams. They just said, man, 2 tears in the bucket. You got hurt, we'll trade you to the Niners. And ever since he's been on the Niners, he never got hurt. That boy look good over there with the black visor and everything. He's been a thorn on our side for these last 2 years, And they got something back in return. But how I view Tyron leaving is like Thor when his dad left, him and Loki was fighting, and all of a sudden they got cast down to this other realm, and they said, hey, Dad, what's going on? He said, son, it's time for me to go. And he just disappeared. That's what's going to happen to Tyron. He ain't just, he ain't just going to just sit back and say, hey, I'll sit on the pine. No, for your mind. No. When healthy, that dude is a beast. The only problem that we have out of Tyron is when he get hurt. So he'll play until he get hurt. And I'm talking about the most beautiful contract I've seen in the last 20 years was Tyron Smith contract. You play, you get paid. Pay for play. An assassin. I love it.
Well, I don't know,
I see you, Beard. He says, asterisk, when healthy, yeah. Why you gonna do me like that, Beard? We supposed to be on the same side, bro. When healthy. Right, when healthy. But even, all right, let me correct it. Even with the leg brace on his arm, right? You know what I'm saying? Because that's how big his arm is. He's still up there. Look, even the injured Tyron plays pretty good. Right? He plays pretty well. So let me say this. The only way you get rid of Tyron is when he's physically not able to be on the field, basically. That's just how it's been in the last few years. Even a limpy Tyron, he's out there and he's producing, right? He's not giving up all of that other stuff. Let me just see. Let me pull it up. It's Hassan Reddick stats right here. But let me pull up Tyron. Let me pull up Tyron Smith. Boom. Bam. He allowed 1 sack last season after 271 snaps. He allowed 2 sacks out of 738 snaps. he allowed. Well, that's when he was really hurt. You know, he didn't play in 2020, and he allowed one. You know what I'm saying? And I ain't finna look at their grades because So I don't see he allowed none in 2018. 2017 he allowed 3. So we got to go all the way back into 2015 when he allowed 5 or more sacks. That's a long time from now. Now I know, I do know. And it's crazy. It's so backwards. 2015, everybody hurt, and then Tyron going to play the full season. Ain't that about a that what had me cursing. Ain't that about a, you know what I'm saying? He played a full season when everybody hurt. Ramo's down. Oh, I can play full season now. God dog, Tyron. Come on, man. But let me look at Trent. Trent Williams. That dog. Williams. And me and my brother fight about this all the time. And, gold jacket Trent. Okay. 1 sack, out of 817 reps. And have y'all noticed too? Trent Williams got more. He allows more penalties too, but he allowed 1 sack. You look at those penalties over there. Look at those penalties. I ain't gonna say it so loud that my brother can't hear it, but y'all see it. All right, and then he allowed 4 penalties. 4 sacks in 2010. In 2020. Excuse me. Pardon me. And then this is when the Washington team said, man, I can't take this no more, man. Let's get rid of Trent because he played for them in 2019. They thought he was an injury guy. And, in 2018, he got hurt again. And then, at the latter part of that year, and let's see, he allowed 1. 2017, he got hurt again in 2017. This is when he was with Washington, y'all, So what if I say this? What if, and I know I'm going to get some pushbacks off of it, but what if Trent Williams and Tyron Smith the same person? What if they the same person, man? You fool around, get rid of him, and then all of a sudden he start doing those numbers, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't flat out. I can see that happening for my boys. We get rid of him. Oh, man, he's hurt guy. Get rid of him. Then he goes and be just that guy that never get hurt. But look at that. Trent Williams had more penalties, and that little sneaky SOB, and that 2021, he doing the stanky leg. Man, that doing that stanky leg messed up Randy Gregory. Man, come on, y'all. Y'all know how this goes, man. All right, so let me go listen to the rest of this audio.
Yes, he's had his share of injuries, and maybe he will. But
he don't have the penalties.
Position. I know he played right tackle some last year, but why ask him to adjust when we've seen Tyler already adjust? I think you got to just give it another year of Tyron at left tackle and Tyler. We know Tyler can go out there and play left tackle. And I hear what you're saying, but then why keep Tyron around?
Good point.
If you're already mentally making the move from him, anticipating his injury and just keeping Tyler, you're not going to play Tyron Smith at left guard.
Let me say this real quick. Postal Pack 2208, he says, Overshawn reminds him of Fred Warner. I can give you that because BYU, Fred Warner, he was a cover tackling machine, a guy that can fit right inside and do everything that you want. So, yeah, that's a good comp. But listen to more what he had to say. Appreciate you, though.
So, and I don't see them – I don't like their backup. Maybe Josh Ball, maybe he evolves better than he has.
Look how long it took him to say so. Let me rewind just one more time. Y'all good? Let me rewind one more time. What do you say about Joshua Ball?
Tyler, you're not going to play Tyron Smith at left guard. So, and I don't see them, I don't like their backup. Maybe Josh Ball, maybe he evolves better than he has so far, but I just don't see a great backup situation right now where they're at with the depth that they have. It's not a good situation considering the injuries they just suffered a year ago.
Brian Baldinger, NFL Network on the Diamond Factory Hotline here on the home of the Dallas Cowboys. What did you think about the rest of their draft class overall?
Whoa.
Whoa.
They draft Mozzie because, Dalton Kincaid went right in front of him. Was that I don't know what they were thinking. When Buffalo jumped right in front of him and took Dalton Kincaid, was that their target? And, okay, if that's the case, then That happens. You can get snookered, in the draft room, but you got to kind of know the value of a player, and you got to know what's going on around the rest of the league. So maybe that happened, but maybe Luke Schoonover is going to be a better player. Schoonmaker is going to be a better player. DeMarvion was a productive player at Texas for the last 3 years. They need speed on the inside,
right?
Especially if they're going to move Micah to the outside more permanently. They need an inside linebacker. They've got to do more than right now than just having Leighton and Damone in there, at the inside linebacker position. So maybe that can help. Look, Fehoko was a good player in a bad conference.
Break it down.
So, I like to see him against better competition. We'll see how that is. He looks a lot like Brandon and I to me, who they had and didn't keep at one point.
Bradley and I. That's what he was saying. No. Bradley. Damn, what's his name? Bradley or Brandon? Shoot, I messed up now. Shoot, was he right? He could have been right, but he wasn't that size though. He wasn't 270 something. Let me make sure, because I don't think he was that size. Let me see, Bradley and I. Okay, all right. Let me go. Bradley. Let me see what his size was. He's on the Jets. Oh wow. Okay. Well, no. He's 6'3". Fehoko's 6'4", close to 280. This 265, and so that's about 20 pounds off, man. One's 280, one 260-ish. You know what I'm saying? So one 280-ish. So nah. And they played like Bradley. What got him benched really was that special team blunder, and when you got that short rope, they get him out of here. So I don't see those guys being the same. You would never, ever, 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 ever think to move Bradley inside, but I can tell you. Fehoko do have upside. Boy in the China shop, a guy that got that speed to power, that use a bull rush, and his hands are so powerful. What I liked about Bradley or not, he didn't have the speed, but he had shoulder dip and some hand fight moves and techniques and those things that if he given an opportunity to get more and more on the outside, then you can see the Cowboys probably find a chance to use it. But that's a story of another day now. So when I look at Fehoko, like he said, against stronger competition, we will see. And if you want to keep him at tweener game, you can look at him like a Tyrone Crawford. Put it like this, and these are two good comps if you want to utilize this. On the high end, you can get Michael Bennett. On the low end, you will hope to get a Tyrone Crawford. Who's agreeing with me? Now Crawford, he's a strong dude, man. Let's not get that twisted. Shout out to him. Shout out to Boise State and all of that. Met the dude. You know what I'm saying? Tyrone Crawford is a strong, brute guy, but he didn't have none of the techniques that Fehoko got. You know what I'm saying? So on the high end, you can look at Michael Bennett, who played with the Seahawks, who originally played with the Bucks, the Seahawks, and the Eagles and the Cowboys, right? But we talking about earlier stages of Bennett, not the older stages of Bennett. But on the low end, hopefully he can be a Tyrone Crawford. Let's go.
Years ago. And then there's Deuce Vaughn, who was highly productive at Kansas State for 3 years. But it's just a lot to ask a guy that's that.
Good. Brian Peters, he says Crawford came back from Achilles injury too, lost some athleticism. I'll give you that. I just think that when they gave Crawford $40 million, they try to jump in front of it juxtaposed to being, hey, let's see what he can do. But I feel what you're saying. Law, my daughter just say, you look like Aiden Diggs. Oh, my goodness, man. Shout out to Aiden Diggs, man. Shout out to him. A superstar and a half, White. Yes, indeed. Yeah, Aiden Diggs, superstar, man. I hope to grow up to be just like Aiden Diggs, though, man. That dude, man. Hey, he hold his dad accountable, too. He do. He hold Trayvon Diggs accountable. He do. Hey. And then he hold Dak Prescott. He said Dak Prescott stop throwing all of those interceptions, man. I said, yeah, we need him on the sideline. Appreciate y'all so much. Let's listen to more of what he had to say.
That size to be any kind of more than a change of pace back at the NFL level. Like, I know he ran through the tackles really well, but he doesn't have elite speed. He doesn't really have elite quickness. He's been very productive, though, so you can't argue with that. It's just if it's a Tony Pollard, Deuce Vaughn 1-2 punch right now at running back, I don't think anybody fears that at all.
What did you think of Malik Davis, the limited action we saw of him last year?
Break it down, Baldy.
I didn't have enough to go on, Jane, to be honest with you.
Okay.
In his carries that he got a
the
year
Packers
ago.
game would be a good one.
So do you think that they're going to have to address some depth there? In other words, and I'll ask you this question. Ezekiel Elliott, I know they haven't completely closed the door, although some of us sort of go back and forth on that. Would you bring him back as a third down back on a veteran minimum?
Well, I don't know if he'll do that.
Yeah.
Because I think he's just waiting to see, injuries and what happens.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Philadelphia just basically signed two injury-prone backs in Rashad Perry, along with the player they just traded for from
DeAndre.
Detroit,
Swift.
DeAndre Swift. So
two injury backs.
Both those guys have had injury histories.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're counting on both those guys. So, there might be somebody, for example, like that could shake loose anybody that gets hurt in preseason. I mean, I don't think Zeke is going to sign any kind of minimum right now, as much as I'm sure that he would enjoy still playing in Dallas. But he's still their best option as the 1-2 punch, as Tony Pollard gets healthy and comes back from his injury. But not at the, it's a cost to everything, and so not at the cost of what Zeke wanted contract-wise. So I think he's better off waiting to see if something else happens out there before he does something like signing a contract minimum.
Well, Zeke is going to lean on the counsel of his people and his father, Stacey Elliott. I'm seeing him fight for his son on Twitter and as well as Facebook groups. And y'all letting that man have it, man. I'm like, hey, man, let Zeke Dad do his thing, because I can only imagine if I had a son in the National Football League, I'll be like, look at my son tape. And the craziest thing of it all, ladies and gentlemen, we moved on from a guy that had most of the issues with Zeke. The playbook, dude, you running Zeke out of shotgun. He got to start up, he got to build up his momentum to find a hole and seek it out. No, put Zeke in a situation where you got a lead blocker in front of him, or if you can get him on the edge, man, with a crack toss or something, man, like that. Let him drop that big old head. Let Zeke eat, But it's just how it goes, man. And shout out to Kellen Moore, because very much so, he could be a guy that learned from his errors now that he's on another team. A fresh of breath air and a new situation could work wonders for him. But I would say humility with dignity will be the approach now. Whatever the Cowboys offer him, it will be solid, because there are 31 other teams out there. And it's not like they don't have access to calling Ezekiel Elliott up and say, hey, we want you to come down here and play for our team to see if you can make it, X, Y, and Z. But don't let that discourage you, Ezekiel Elliott, when nobody is calling. Don't let that do that to you. Just continue to work out, get your body together, and say, hey, this is my last run. Whoever getting me now gonna get an angry Zeke. That's how I would approach it. That's what I would tell him. Whoever get me now gonna be an angry Zeke. But I'm quite sure if he had a house and all of that stuff here in Dallas, and I don't know, he don't got no kids, I don't think. But if he got people that he kind of like good with the location and area and don't want to learn a new city and ways and habits, then come back for cheap. Come back for cheap. The Cowboys will always bring you back. They brought Herschel Walker back. Y'all remember that? Shoot. So the window and the door is not shut down on him, man. We still get the $10 million if we sign him back before June 1st. Do we still get that $10 million? I don't know how all of that work. His contract was guaranteed, so whatever that you owe him, you have to pay him, and whatever contract that he comes for, it had to be a new one because you already avoided the contract. You already sliced it up and chopped it up and took the losses. So he got to come back under a new clause, a new contract, etc. So that's just how it goes. And shout out to everybody who keep tagging me in this video. This is not me, man. This guy is definitely not me. Let me see if I can bring it around. It's definitely ain't me right here. But shout out to James Harden. You see how he got his hair braided to the back? And his beard's a little bit bigger than mine right now. You know what I'm saying? That James Harden. I would never, ever dress like that unless they pay me millions upon millions upon millions to wear that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he got a quilt blanket. You know what I'm saying? What is that? What do he got on? Like he can scratch stuff together and shock you. You know, rub stuff together, shock you. Yes, indeed. That's James Harden. You know, we may have the same beard texture. But I don't think we look alike just like that. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. Somebody, hey, man, Law, man, what you going, man, with that modified bedrobe? You know what I'm saying? Let's go, man. Let's listen to more of these guys.
You know, there was a lot of upset Cowboys fans when they saw the Eagles snatching up Jalen Carter at 9 and Nolan Smith at 30. What did you think about those two picks from the Eagles? Because I think obviously both are really high upside players, but I mean, there's obviously also been questions about Jalen Carter's work ethic off the field, and then also Nolan Smith. He is a bit of a tweener size.
Well, so the question is, are they true steals, or were they just overrated to begin with? So you could go back and watch Jalen Carter from 2021, and it looks like Reggie White out there, you know? I mean,
right.
He just physically throws people around. Like, you just don't see.
Yeah.
But, but you never see him on the field 5 plays in a row. But you never see any of those guys on the field 5 plays in a row. And so you go, are they in shape? Are they in condition? Or can you just dominate college football just rotating guys like that, which they have done?
Man, let me tell y'all something, man. Georgia Bulldogs in the last 4 or 5 years been them boys, man. If anything, as far as the pandemic, if anything, excuse me, as far as that, benefited an organization and franchise in the collegiate sport like the Georgia Bulldogs. Shoot. And I know some of those guys committed before 2020, but what I'm saying is, some of those guys, let me commit to somewhere that I know for sure that family and friends are close to. Those boys in the last few years, man, just been phenomenal, man. Yeah, they've been nice, and shout out to the Bulldogs, man. It's gonna be hard. It's gonna be hard to see those boys in that terrible green. The only green that I love, man, is the money green, right? Hey, and that filthy green. You might like the midnight color that they wear, that dark green, but everything else, man, is filthy. Yeah, come on now, come on. Watch out, Law. Yeah, my bad. Allegedly.
But, Jalen Carter got hurt week 1 against Oregon last year and had that high ankle sprain. He really struggled through it, but he played
Greenbacks.
through it.
I see you, Army
when
Mom.
you see him healthy, there's just not many people in the NFL right now that can throw bodies around like the way he throws people around. Like, he is a physical – he's just unusual. I mean, he's bigger, stronger, faster, Quinton Williams, Jeffrey Simmons, you name an elite defense.
I like Jalen Carter. I don't got him up there with Quinton Williams. Man, I get what y'all saying, though. Quinton Williams, I get with what y'all are saying. But Quentin Williams, we'll find out though. I'll eat crow if he does those type of numbers. But let's listen to what he got to say.
Defensive tackle in this league right now. He already looks physically better than all of them. You got to learn the position. Nolan, like Eagles play a 5-man defensive front, so for the most part, and so Hassan Reddick, it was a perfect defense for him. He barely
baby
ever
boo
got
boo
doubled.
green.
And the 49ers put tight ends on him in a playoff game, and he knocked Brock Purdy out in the 6th play. It's a perfect system right now for guys like Hassan Reddick and Nolan Smith, who is basically the comp. That's basically what Hassan Reddick was coming out of Temple. I mean, except that Nolan Smith is just a lot faster than Hassan Reddick.
Brian, was there another draft outside of the NFC East that you just absolutely loved? Whose class did you just really, really like what they did?
Well, I mean, you look at Seattle. I mean, they got the best corner in the draft in Devin Witherspoon. They got the best receiver in the draft in Jackson Smith and Jigba. They got basically a starting guard. They've got a
good running back too.
Defensive end. I mean, they got 4 starters on a team that had 5 rookie starters a year ago and a playoff team.
No doubt, man. Seattle ranked up like real talk in their running back room, man. To listen to that full interview without me pausing and rewinding, shout out to 105.3 The Fan for all what they do. Check them out on 105.3 The Fan. The link, I just posted it in the comment area there. Be sure to hit those boys up. Y'all want me to keep going? We can open up the phone line for your mind. Let me know. Long, keep going, Long, man. I want you to keep going, man. I need to have a Cowboy fix right now, man. I need to talk to you right quick. Let me know if y'all want to talk to me, man. Yes, indeed. Oh, my goodness. Seattle Seahawks doing something different over there. They got Tyreek Woolen, right? And then they went and got one of the other better DBs out of this draft. Oh, my goodness. And then 2 running backs. Like, once you get tired of Walker, then they're going to hit you up with a Charbonnet. You know what I'm saying? They got dessert wine over there, man. God dog. Metcalf, Lockett, and JSN. Shoot, they in, Man, God dog. That dessert wine Charbonnet. That wine going to have y'all punch drunk over there. They got Macintosh, too. They going to have the Seattle Seahawk relays. Let's go, Cowboy Nation.
Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Keep it super thorough my way on this side. Mobbing with my brothers, there's no question, keep it real. Whether we East coasting or we in the hidden hills.
There are
in the poppin' straps of blue faces, not the pills. Heard you calling bluffs, I show and prove it, it's for real. Son of God, not a son of Sam. Keep it off the books and keep it coming in. Bitch, the OFC, what I'm coming.
Watch this from my guy 100 grand.
Caramel just like 100 grand.
Ooh, inside caramel, just like the 100 grand, baby. Yes, indeed. Somebody hit me up and said, man, I just realized, man, he was talking about the candy bar, man. Yes, indeed. Inside caramel, baby. That caramel inside, man. All right, I got my guy, man, from the 214. Darius, man, you're live.
Law, first of all, I want to say your can you hear me good?
Yeah. You coming clear, man. You coming in clear.
Okay, your film assessment on Eric Jr., if I'm not mistaken. What's his last name?
Scott.
Eric Scott Jr. Okay, so yeah, you did a great film assessment on him. I just checked it out like a few hours ago. I think he might be a better pro than he was a college player.
True.
So what do you say to that?
Yes, because when you're getting it out of the mud, you started off as JUCO. Butler. He went to Butler Community College, and then he had 9 interceptions, crazy 15 deflections there, and then he goes to Southern Miss, and he keeps that up. He kept that up, got 5 INTs there, 2 tackles for loss against good competition, by the way, Alabama game. And then I talked to his uncle, right before I went live today, and he was saying that they finna move to Frisco. They looking for they finna move close to the star. I meant to say in Frisco, close to the star in Frisco. Yeah. Woo! I didn't even get a man address out. God dog, let the man get in there first. But he practiced jiu-jitsu, whatever that is. You know what I'm saying? So that he can work. So he can keep his hands and everything and his balance. And he said, pay attention to his balance and his weight distribution. He's going to be one of those guys that play through the echoes of the whistle and determined to be the best. So I can't wait to see how his blend of talent translate over to the Cowboys football field with the guys that we got here.
Okay, and then when I do a lot of my assessments on the cornerbacks, I'll be pretty spot on, like for my assessment, because I was a day one Jalen Ramsey during. It's a couple guys that I was day one on. But what I kind of look at is like the instincts, like like his instincts and how his feet move and his like body placement off the line of scrimmage before he's about to jam the receiver. Like if he's like his body movement, like if he kind of like see the play before it happens, and his body is already in position, and then kind of like how he quickly reacts to the ball when the ball is thrown. Like that's what I pay attention to. Like that's always a good sign. But if a cornerback is like really too handsy and like he always chasing after the receiver, that's a red flag for me, Law. That's a red flag.
It's red flag. So when you see him at Southern Miss, he played all over the field. They played him at free. They played him inside, and they played him. I look at him more of a boundary technique style. He's not on the field side as much, and meaning that he used the sideline as his friend. He redirects pretty well. He's not afraid to climb up under routes and allow his safety over the top to eat. So he got this recovery speed that I like, where he climbs up under a route, and as soon as the quarterback throw it, he can leap up out of the gym. And I think Will McClay said it, and it was transferable, like his vertical, and that vertical, like 39, he jump out of the building, So his vertical shows me that even if this happened before the 40-yard, dash, the vertical shows that, hey, he got explosiveness, and that's what you want your DB to do, explode. And if he can give you those things, then shoot, that give you chances and situation to get drafted,
Absolutely. And then the last thing that I truly called to say was that, so I got killed the last time I called when I was upset about the Cowboys reaching, and sure enough, my guy OC, when y'all did the final word, he come talk to me. Come on now. So this is how. So check this out. So now I was painted as the crazy guy. I was painted as the panic man. But listen, this is one of the smartest men on TV. One of the smartest men on YouTube is the OC. Who else is as well read and as well versed as the OC is when it comes to player evaluation? It's not many.
He's up there.
OC, OC, Jay Tuck. Oh man, Jay Tuck is a bad boy. Jay Tuck, and what's my boy name? Big Game James.
Yeah.
They pretty much all had the same assessment as I did, but the OC went the hardest, and OC went harder than I did on the draft. He said we drafted a bunch of backups. Yeah. I said the Cowboys was just reaching. He said he was raw with it. So you know what I'm saying. So for all y'all on this channel that killed me about it, go watch the final word. You ain't gonna kill OC like that.
Well, I tried to kill him. I think OC. He's gonna circle back, and then I'm gonna hit him with, like, mid-season. We're gonna hit him with the wee woo. And then my guy Boss Cowboy gonna drop the fart sound on him, because I don't even have that in my doggone soundboard. But I'm gonna tell you, here's the reason why. The OC is looking at it from what I told everybody not to look at it as an isolated situation. Look, there's nobody that we're leaning on to start. And the only person that we can literally say that's going to get a lot of reps will be Mozzie. And Mozzie, even if Mozzie didn't live up to their expectations, you won't even see it. You won't even see it. Know why? Because you got other dogs like Sam, Parsons, D-Law. You know what I'm saying? There's not going to be a moment where we can look back and say, oh, man, Mozzie is the reason why this defense is terrible. It won't be that because he's surrounded by others. And we know iron sharpened iron, steel sharpened steel, fam.
Yeah, I don't got no problem with the first round pick because Michael Parsons. But the rest of them players, man, like that, like there was a lot of reaching, man. A lot of reaching going on. We could have got other players. That's all I was saying.
Hey,
we do.
Before I let you go, who would be the other player that you just give me one or two of them?
So now that's the other thing I was going to say. So now Will McClay, he get in his bag in the last part, like he drafts the best in the bottom half.
Right.
So I feel like we got to steal in Overshown. I actually love Overshown last year. I was like, damn, do he got a brother? Like, cause I could have sworn he came out last year, but no, I love Overshown and I love Deuce Vaughn. That's my out of that whole draft, those are my favorite two players out of this whole draft. So did I answer your question, Love?
Well, I was going to ask you. I'm actually again. Who did you want it instead of? Just give me one player. Give me one player.
Oh, instead of Schoonmaker, Jalen Hyatt. I wanted Jalen Hyatt at the number 2 pick.
All right. So when let me see, September, October. All right, I'm gonna wait till October. I want to ask you that same question. I'm gonna say, hey man, would you like to have Hyatt now? You know what I'm saying?
1,000 yards after. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, 1,000 yards in October? Shoot.
Wait. He got Daniel Jones.
Nah, come on, man. No, I ain't gonna say that. but we gonna ask that question in October. Like, do you like Hyatt? You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate you so much, fam.
All right, much love, man.
No doubt, man. And that's a good call for my guy Darius. But shout out to the OC, shout out to Boss Cowboy as well as Jay Tuck and everyone that he mentioned, who I'm leaving out. Big Game James. Shout out to those boys. But I would tell y'all in DMV, he was on the show too. Don't look at it as an isolated situation. Yeah. Look at it as even if the Cowboys drafted Jalen Hyatt, would Jalen Hyatt outperform Jalen Tolbert, Simi Fehoko? There's not enough balls, man, pause. But, Michael Gallup, Brandon Cooks, CeeDee Lamb. So I get what everybody is saying. I like the kid. I like the upside of it. But at the end of the day, and I know it's crass for me to say that, but I don't think that Jalen Hyatt nor Schoonmaker, any of those guys, we will be leaning on them so much that it will be a situation where they will be the overall determined factor whether or not we're going to be good for the 2023 season. I don't think so. But all right, let's go with my guy Glenn Law, and then we have MJ and we have Coach Marv at the next 3. So Glenn Law, you're live.
Hey, what's good, Law?
Nothing to it, Chief.
All right. Hey, appreciate your analysis on Baldinger. I always appreciate when he gives his analysis. I always feel like he's fair. He's one of the few guys that when it comes to the Cowboys, he's fair. You can tell he actually watches tape.
Yeah, he do.
He's not reading press clippings. And I take what he says seriously. So shout out to Baldy on that.
No doubt.
I got a couple personnel questions I was hoping you could kind of answer for me because I'm not sure I know the answer. Who is Mozzie going to send to the bench? I mean, let's assume that he does start, or maybe that's even an open question. Is he going to start over Odigizua, assuming Hankins starts? Like, is Mozzie going to be part of the starting defensive line rotation, or is he going to come off the bench and other?
That's a good question. On the front end, I would say Gilmore, Neville Gallimore, and as well as Big Bo. You would want him to day one be better than those two, right? You would want him. And then Jonathan Hankins, he will be that old broom. As much as we can say about, Mozzie got all of the strength and these sorts of things, but he don't have the experience, Experience will outweigh like the young man's strength and all of that. And you would want Jonathan Hankins to give you 20 to 25 snaps now, so that's a plus for us. So when Jonathan Hankins get his hands on his knees and get tired, you have Mozzie in there. Mm-hmm. So I would want – this is another thing that I would like to see. I like to see my dogs like Neville and Big Bo to be pissed off, and I want them to all training camp to be pissed off at Mozzie because he's getting all of the attention, he's getting all of the love and adulations. So I want those guys to go into practice every week saying, y'all like the new boy, you know what I'm saying? But we gonna show him, you know what I'm saying? And I want that type of chippiness, because if anybody played any levels of sports, especially down inside in trenches, you should get that out of those guys.
Yeah, I think those down roster guys, some of these guys are just not going to make it to the final. So, we're going to end up letting go of some guys at the end of the training camp who, in past years, would have made this roster simply because we just can't fill out. Some of these guys are just going to be inactive, and it just doesn't make sense. So I'll be anxious to see. I like the fact that we have choices, because Odigizua, as much, I don't feel like we talk about him enough, because he's right on that line of really getting some real notoriety, and it just seems that for whatever reason he's just right on that line, right, where it's like, this dude is a beast. He's just not quite there yet. I feel like he tailed off a little bit towards the end of the year, but the potential and the hunger is there, and he's better than I imagined when we drafted him. Let me just go ahead and say it. He is better than I thought.
Oh yeah.
The other thing I wanted to ask you, and Spoonmaker, listen, I feel like people are just making way too much out of this. I get it. Second round, I would have gone with, I think, Osiris Torrance. But I think I think you kind of addressed it on another call another day, that money is also a consideration, right? They could have signed a tight end prior to the draft, but then there are money and financial considerations. That being said, I don't know if you remember this, but McCarthy said, I think it was either last year or the year before, he doesn't like spending high draft capital on an offensive lineman. And I know that's, anathema around Cowboys Nation, because we're so used to having sort of a high-tier offensive line. But McCarthy is of the opinion that he doesn't think he wants to spend a second-round pick on an offensive lineman, hence he took the tight end.
Right.
Because I believe he wants to run more 12 personnel packages to cut down on these picks. So I guess the question is, assuming we are going to run more 12 personnel, is it going to be Lamb, or is it going to not Lamb? I'm sorry. Is it going to be who's the guy who tore his ACL? Gallup. Is it going to be Gallup, or is it going to be Cooks, who gets that wide receiver spot? I mean, to me, I'm putting Cooks and Lamb in there, and Gallup's just going to, I'm sorry, but I just don't see how he's on the field when Cooks is not, unless it's due to just sort of give Cooks a breather. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
I think that you're going to see more different variations of packages. So when we get inside our 30, you may see 13 personnel. You may see more heavy run suits, and by having a Schoonmaker and a possibility of Peyton Hendershot lining up on the outside, now that's mismatches. Or even the possibility of Jake Ferguson and Schoonmaker showing 12 personnel on both sides of your offensive lineman there, and one is offline or what have you, and that creates mismatches there, and then they run it. So I think that there's going to be more pin to pull from your guards or what have you in your center, and you're going to see those guys out in space. I think that you're going to see more of that power play. And now you got taller targets that can help out your quarterback. So instead of Cooks, who may be limited when you get inside the 20 or inside the 10 there, now you have Schoon, CD Lamb. If my guy Gallup is healthy, Gallup, Schoon, CD Lamb, as well as Ferguson. So I look at all of those things. It just opened up the playbook a little bit more, juxtaposed to if you have Osiris Torrance, right, that doesn't give you different complexity on the offensive line. It's just another guy to fit in that voided area at left guard. When they might look at it like, Osiris Torrance is good, but they got a guy named Chuma Edoga that they may look at it and say, let's compare Osiris Torrance to Chuma. So it's so many things. They looking at athleticism too. Remember the guy that they drafted, Asim, and as well as Chuma.
Yeah.
Those two boys, Chuma they didn't draft, of course, but they picked him up. But he's a tackle that they're gonna kick inside as guard. You see where they're going with it? They want athletic guys down inside. Yeah.
And I'll leave you with this, and I know you got other callers. People, every position outside of, Micah and CV, every position needs to have somebody that pushes them, right?
True.
And so Schoonmaker will push Ferguson. And people say, oh, well, Schoonmaker is not as good as Ferguson. You know what? I have absolutely no idea. Here's what I do know. I do know Schoonmaker can block. He's not afraid to get down and dirty. I'm not saying that Ferguson is, but it's a good problem to have. Why? Because these two tight ends are basically going to give you the production of a Pro Bowl player. That's my opinion. I believe these two together will give you Pro Bowl productivity, and I think that's what McCarthy's looking for. With that, I'll let you go. Thanks for taking the call. Great show as always.
No doubt, man. That's Glenn Law, man. I appreciate him for calling in. All right, so
The conference has been locked.
you guys give it what he was saying is, and across the board, we want competition. And some people said friendly. No, I don't want it to be friendly on the front. In the trenches, no. You only got 46 guys that's going to be activated. 9 times out of 10, downtown defensive tackle guys, they're not going to play a lot of special teams, right? So it's not friendly. It's, hey, you want to play? You don't want to ride the pine and be on the bench? Then you got to show me something. If not, then you're not finna get this next contract that's around the way. And lo and behold, ladies and gentlemen, we came a long way from going into a playoffs or playing in a game with Antoine Woods being our interior guy, right? Look how far we have came. So, I just want to tell you guys that too. And I'm not taking any shots at my guy Antoine Woods, man. Shout out to you, fam. But we are a long way from there. And this team got a different philosophy. Hopefully, we expound upon that and we'll say to ourselves, hey, this competition finna be good. And Schoonmaker, as much as we may distaste the pick from where he was at in the second, but all of that's out the window now. He's on the team. We can't put the baby back inside, right? In the womb. He's already born and birthed it on this team, and he's going to be here to play for a spot. So there's no moonwalking back now. So I look at Schoon. I get it. We have high hopes for Jake Ferguson and Peyton Hendershot, but Schoon is a taller, faster Jake Ferguson. So now Jake Ferguson looking at it like, all right, cool. I may be the guy that been playing in the National Football League for a year, but shoot, this dude is out here trying to put a little heat for me. And I got to make sure that I don't leave nothing on the table. Yeah, he's faster than Jason Witten, yeah. Yes, indeed. And Schoon is faster than Dalton Schultz, He's faster than him. They're going to wear the same numbers, and y'all going to be looking back and saying, hey, man, hey, man, I didn't realize Dalton Schultz got faster. Oh, that ain't Dalton Schultz, that's Schoon. Schoon! Yeah, y'all, you all going to hate the pick until he score a touchdown, right? Like, man, that Schoon ain't about, all right, man, shout out to Schoonmaker, you know what I'm saying? And so that's just how it goes, man, with this. All right, so I got MJ, then we got Coach Marv, man. But MJ, you're live right now.
What up, Law? How you doing, brother?
Oh, man, all is well. Can't complain, bro.
Oh, I love it. Coach Marv, what's up? I know you coming next. I'm glad that I like all the picks, and I like all the free agent picks, and I like all the other teams' picks. You see what I'm going with it, Law? And Coach Marv will tell you, we're going to keep picking up players until the season over. They're going to make sure they put the right players on the team, and I'm not worried about that. And so whoever don't play good, they're going to get cut. Bottom line. So
True.
I love what Will does. I'm not worried about what I know, because some of the fans, they still into their feelings because their favorite player they didn't pick, and that player might be a bust. You know what I mean, Law?
No doubt.
Ain't nothing guaranteed. And you made a good point that Coach Moore is going to back you up with that. They want some linemen that can move. I see what they about to do.
Oh, yeah.
And I see what you're talking about. They want them linemen moving. They don't want no big guys can't move. You know what I'm saying? And that tight end connection they got, that's going to be a deadly tight end because now, that dude can block. He's going to be knocking them linebackers out, defensive ends, so they don't know what we're going to do.
I tell you what, MJ. When people go back and look at pass block win rate, and they look up teams from last season, you'll see the Cowboys in the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Pass block win rate. And what we try to do is, like this is crazy things like hustling backwards. It's like what we try to do is literally run out of pass block formation. So not only it would have been a different story if we had top 5 or maybe top 10 in pass block win rate and we ran out of that formation, right? I can see that. I can get all of that. But we were dead last or right at the bottom at pass block win rate, and we try to run out of it, meaning that the moment you got your offensive linemen so much in the stance and pass pro, right, and blocking out of it, and now you saying, hey, by the way, we want you to block out of that stance for your runners. Shoot.
Come on, man.
A lot of people don't understand it. That little small fraction of a change can change the complexity of the game.
Thank you. And like you say, Law, and like Coach Moore coming behind me, I'm telling you, the best lineman win. And if number 77 go down, I don't care. 73 will go down. And then what I want them to do in the preseason, play them young boys a lot.
Yep.
Don't have them sitting. Have 77 sitting. I already know what he could do. Have 73 over there sitting. Have 70 over there sitting. Have 78 over there sitting. Have that center sitting. Let the boys play so we can see who is the best. And then, you know what I'm saying? Do not play our other guys. Let them other boys play a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Marv, I promise you, Solari, and I think that this is what he's going to do. When you see Travis Frederick, may he, have his good time off his particular retirement. But when you see Tyler Biadasz pulling and Zach pulling, when he start pulling these centers and guards, and they get around to the linebackers and the doggone safeties, shoot. Hey, watch how, I promise you, watch how my guy Tony Pollard, because he's a patient runner, watch how he squeezes behind those boys, and then he see the daylight, he hit hole. Watch how the Deuce Vaughn kid, when the guard is pulling, don't let it, look, I like Tyler Smith at tackle, but you put that boy at guard and he pulling, and he's pulling, and all of a sudden that big boy coming around the corner, sure, you're going to be like, mama, when you get to them safeties. We didn't do a lot of pin to pull. We didn't do a lot of outside zone reads and stuff like that. So it's going to be a different type of philosophy and approach. And put it like this, you can have the exact same offensive line that we had last year and just have a different approach and a philosophy, and you will see better run production.
And you will. And them tight ends, I'm telling y'all right now, Cowboy fans, them tight ends is going to make a big difference. And when y'all see 86 crackback block on one of them ends and knocking them out, y'all going to be going crazy. And Darren, I know what you mean. I know you like Hyatt, but that tight end, he's going to win you over. Watch what I tell you, Darren. At the end of the year, Darren's going to say, Ma, you was right. And and Coach Moore, you're going to tell Coach Moore that too. You was right. Because what the Cowboys about to do, they don't know what we're going to do. We ain't got that stupid, hey, let me say it again. We don't have video King Raheem no more. And we finna kill the team. And our defense, and one more time, I'm going to tell y'all again, 58 is starting at 3 Tech. Hannah is going to back up big man, Hankins, and then they take them out. Number 58 go to 1 Tech, and then Osa come in fresh and get that rush
I get what you're saying. Osa going to be the closer. Osa going to be the closer.
Yeah. And Philadelphia going to be, and that kid Osa fresh, so he can penetrate. He going to be even better. And then that big boy on the fourth round going to be tight. And then, hey, even Callaway. This going to help Callaway. Callaway will be able to play 3 tech now. He ain't got to play 1 tech no more.
Oh, you talking about Naville. Man, I appreciate you so much, MJ, man. Thank you so much for calling in, fam.
Thank you, brother.
Yes,
and,
indeed.
Hey, let's go, Cowboys. Coach Moore is up next.
No doubt, man. Coach. Yes, indeed. Good call from him, man. Yeah. Yeah. I look at it like that, but I think that my guy Osa. Ooh, but regardless, if they go by like, hey, we're not finna say just because you're a rookie, you start, and these sorts of things. If they just go by who whoop butt on the field, get the first reps or what have you, I don't mind that at all. But if it's that, you put Osa as second rotation, I won't get mad at it. I promise you I won't get mad at it. And if they have an honest, hear me out, y'all, if they have an honest snap count, I wouldn't get mad at it as well. If they look at it like, hey, this week we need Osa to start off first because of the type of offensive lineman we going up against, or if next week we need, Mozzie to start off first, we can't get mad at that. That's what the flexibility of your roster should be able to do. Right? And if some games you need Parsons to be back at linebacker, I wouldn't get mad at that. Some games you have Parsons down, hand in the dirt, being off the edge. I won't get mad at that either. It just depended on matchup and who we play and when we play and what we are down and out distance are and a whole bunch of things. I think leave the element of surprise. Don't tell the opposition where you're going on your front, and then I think that will keep the teams up all night. Yes, indeed. Because if he's really moving weight around like he's doing, I'm talking about Mozzie, then teams gonna have to game plan around that. And especially if you put big inside, like Jonathan Hankins and Mozzie. There's no way. I can't foresee, and I'm not trying to hype this team up, but I am. But there's no way a center and guard are going to say, okay, we allow these guys to go one-on-one with us now. There's no way. I just don't see that possible. I think that those guys are going to require 2. So Jonathan Hankins and Mozzie next to each other going to require 2. And you only got 5 offensive linemen. The numbers 2 and 2, that's 4. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's free. And if you say, all right, I'm going to chip on the outside and get back inside, they're going to have to require to keep extra guy back. That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping that this stuff can all translate over. All right, I got Coach Marv, man, from the 803.
Can you hear me, Law?
Yes, indeed, Coach. I can hear you good.
Hey, man, check this out. Osa and Mozzie together is going to be special. Osa played better. Osa played better when Hankins. That combination was a formidable combination because Osa, man, I think people sleep on Osa playing 54% of the snaps and second on the team in tackles.
Keep going, Coach.
Yo. You know what I'm saying? We sleeping on him, and I think, and he still don't get moved. You don't watch film. Also don't get moved. Never have. He got moved when he was in college.
Yeah.
And when he was at 280 pounds, he didn't get moved. And now you put him in a situation where he's gonna be one-on-one. You got 2 monsters in the midway in there. But I'm not saying Hankins is not gonna play. That's gonna be a formidable rotation there, and they're gonna give some breaks with some of these other guys. But a lot of these guys, and if you look at the tape coming at the end of the season, the other guy did well that was in that draft. Ghosted played pretty good at the 3 technique. So I think we all right with the defensive line, but I think you are so right, Law, about guys that getting covered. And I think sometimes, and I got caught up in this because I want to say when the draft went around, I was really talking about, you know, the team was being a little arrogant in their
approach.
Well, I had talked to one of my friends, and he said, Mom, you know, he told me, he said, Mom, listen, man, you got to see what direction they're going in.
Mm-hmm.
He said, because he said, you know, you're not really. I always been a person that says, okay, when I look at guys being drafted, I look at what the coach, what his philosophy is of a player.
Yeah.
When I predict drafts, I can't look at the overall player. I have to look at what this coach likes, because each coach look at players differently.
Right.
Because you have people that want to fit your style, even though that's not saying another guy's not a good player, but you don't believe he's good for what you want him to do. And the worst thing that you could do is draft a player that does something the worst thing you could draft is a player that does things well, but not the things that you want them to do well. Because now you're behind the 8 ball. Because when you bring him in, you're going to ask him to do those other things, and he's not going to be as good because his mental capacity is not there. So that's where I look when I look at linemen. I'd rather have a lineman. The biggest quality I like to look at a lineman is he aggressive, and then he has some semblance of strength. I know a lot of people like to look at feet, but I feel that you can't change his mentality to be aggressive if he's always had a finesse mentality. I can work on his feet if he's an athlete.
Yep.
See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I can't change his mentality because he's always done things in a finesse manner. So we need to try to change him to do that. Even though if I make him stronger, he's still going to have the mentality of doing the finesse. See what I'm saying? So that's why I look at those qualities. Some other people may look at other qualities because they have a tendency to look at things. So if you're right about this offense being on the move, pulling people, athletic guards, you cannot run that system if you don't have ultimately great tight end blocking.
There you go. Yep.
Because you're not going to be able to get to the edge. You're not going to be able to cut the cutoff back off. Everything's going to get blown up if you don't have tight ends. They can do hands blocks, block on the run, combo, how to help, when to help,
and line,
all those things.
Yep.
So what I found out that Linda Wells said, as I said yesterday, he said that this guy did every block in college. I can get a guy that maybe can block, but he doesn't do those blocks in college. Now I'm going to have to teach him how to do those type of blocks. But now I'm going to have to fine-tune this guy because he's already done it.
Yeah.
So that gives him a step above, even though he may not rank in some other people's eyes as another player. But to me, he ranks higher because my boy says he does the things that I like for a player to do.
I'm trying to get Schoon. I'm trying to get Schoon on a seam so that I can take that safety that's trying to roll over Cook's way out of the picture.
This is what I said about that. I said about this. Listen to this long. I said this is the same thing about Schultz, and Boss can tell you that. I said this many times we watching the games or we going through pre. I said, listen, if your tight ends are ultimately they're good and they're blocking, ultimately it's going to open them up to get separation in the passing game.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? Because if you have to concern and brace yourself because they are doing their job in the blocking, they're going to have easier releases. They're going to be able to get off of releases easier. They're going to be able to freeze you when they think you want to play action pass. That gives you a step. But if you're finesse and you're not blocking well, you have to beat guys like you a receiver.
Yep.
See what I'm saying? So if you watch Schultz, when he blocked well, when we ran the ball, he caught more touchdowns.
There you go.
When we did run the ball well, he caught less touchdowns. We asked him to do too much. So here it is again. That's what I'm saying about in that type of area. If you want him to get to what you want him to be. But I want to say this last thing, Long.
Mm-hmm.
As we watching the tape of these guys, As we start to dig into the tape, dig into what they are, what they have done, start looking at the philosophy of what these coaches are looking at, these players start to look better and better because now we see where they're fitting into what the team wants. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, that's how you have to draft. You can't draft just a piece. You have to draft a piece that fits you. Mm-hmm. Just like I would say this, like a car instance. Mm-hmm. You can't go out there, a Ford can't go out there and buy the best alternator. Because the best alternator out there on the market might be a Chevy alternator. Mm. He needs a Ford alternator. Even though the Chevy alternator might be ranked high in people's minds, but it don't fit on his car.
Man, that's spitting some good stuff, man. I appreciate you, Coach Marv. I thank you so much.
So let's take your time but the biggest thing I want to say this, the biggest thing that's going to be important. I want to see if the mentality in training camp is going to change.
There we go.
Because that's the piece that's going to put us over the top.
No doubt, Coach Marv.
That's the part I want.
That's the part, man. I think that those boys are going to get it out of the mud for us. Appreciate you, Coach Marv, for calling in.
Appreciate you, brother.
No doubt, man. That's Coach Marv, man. Always bringing wisdom to the game, especially when he calls in, giving us his thoughts. Put your hands together for Coach Marv. And I know it's hard to digest, you know. During the height of the draft, we look at skill sets and we say, hey, I would rather have Jalen Hyatt over Schoonmaker. But the things that this team is going to do with Schoon, I don't see Jalen Hyatt would do, right? But the things that Jalen Tolbert or Brandon Cooks, Fihoko, if maybe he can step up, Gallup, they can do the things that Hyatt would be able to do, right? But what Schoon going to do is how they're going to look at this and say, okay, they'll get back to 12. They're going to keep Ferguson in the loop of everything. I need a guy that can take the seams and isolate that safety. If I can get the safety first two steps to be forward versus backwards, that's a problem. That's a flat out problem because Cook's one-on-one on the outside, shoot, and don't let it be a deep over, right? And I need for my run game to look like if I got a tight end in line blocking, right, that's efficient right there, then I need for all my plays to look the same. I need for my running play to look and mirror my passing play, and they thinking that it's going to be a run because the tight end, you got two tight ends set, one is on the line or what have you. It's got to be a run play, and bam, we hit them with a corner route, right? Bam, we hit him with a deep over with a speedy guy like Cooks. Or bam, we gash him with a run, you know. And it goes back to what I said, like everybody banging on the table, what about power back? Power back. Well, the two teams that played in the Super Bowl, name me the power back there, you know. It's all about mismatching, man. It's all about being creative enough to get that 1 to 2 guy open. And can your quarterback find that 1 or 2 guys is open? And you make it user-friendly for that by mismatching. But I'm not finna send 4 verticals, right? Or 4 hitches and comebacks. Those are the best plays I can play on defense against, right? I'm going to sit on all of those routes. There should be no more 4 curls. There should be no more guys sitting on routes. I wish somebody sit on a route and I got 12 personnel out there. Shoot, they better commit. Because I want that safety first 2 steps to be forward instead of backwards. You know? So that's just how it goes. I want that safety to work those hips. Pause. You know. Yes, indeed. Y'all give it what I'm saying, though. Come on, Action, Ram, and Jackson, man. You live, man, for the 945, man.
Hey, what's going on with you, my guy?
Nothing to it, Chief. Holla at me, man.
Hey, look, I had to run an audible, man, and take my phone out of speaker, man, because Marvin and took my old lady, bro. That midnight love, boy.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, man. Hey, I got a question for you, bro. How do you win with a narcissistic owner?
Make make him believe that he's making the right decisions. You know, that is how it goes, man. When you make it, although it's your choice what you really want to do, but make it his. Kind of like if the people were smart and wise and they crafted the conversation to say, dang, Jerry, you brilliant, man, putting them curtains up there in the stadium. And if it was his idea, he would have the curtains when the sun is out. But by it being someone else's ideal, you know, he don't want to do it. That's what narcissist is. You know what I'm saying? So you got to empower them. You got to stroke their egos. You know what I'm saying?
He has to be inflated.
You got to be inflated. Yeah. Yes, indeed.
Okay.
Hey, low key, you got to do the ladies like that too. Oops.
Hey man, jewel. Yeah, you need to get you a jewel, but man, you just stop one. You know what I'm saying?
You gotta make it her idea.
Y'all better be picking up what he putting down.
Yeah. Hey, somebody right now in trouble. You know what I'm saying? They went and got food to eat when they heard her say, "Well, I ain't hungry. I don't want nothing." And they came back with nothing. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. That's facts, bro.
Yeah, so even go ahead.
And the reason I say that because I feel like, you know, Schoonmaker, I don't even feel like there was a Mike McCartney pick, honestly. I feel like there was a Stephen Jones and Jerry Jones pick because you know what I'm saying, they want, it's like, you know, they let McCartney take over the reign. They got rid of Kellen Moore.
Yeah.
You know, that was something big for them to do because they feel like Kellen Moore was one of the kids, the real kids, stay in the big house type kids. So they did that, the sacrifice that to let McCartney know he's in control. But I think they kind of muscled him out that second round pick to show him that they still in control. They just gave you a bit more power. So I don't think you got too much power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I don't think he really would have went with that pick. I think he would have went with a lineman. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just to be able to match up with what he see coming in the near future. Because, like you said, it's so many. It's so hard for anybody else to crack that star lineup. What would be the easiest way to crack the Cowboy style lineup? It would be a lineman, right? A left guard.
Yeah, a guard. Yeah, right? Yeah.
That's like the easiest way to get into the starting lineup on this team that we got. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he would have went with the tight end because you got tight ends that can do all that. And then on the simple fact that you would have got another tight end in the free agency, undrafted. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got all these tight ends, right?
Right.
That's why I think he would have went with a guard. But I just think Jerry now panicked because it was out that they wanted a tight end, and they just panicked. You know what I'm saying? And I think he might have shot that shot. That we might need to get a guard with this second round pick and get Schoonmaker the third. And I think they vetoed him and jumped there. You know, I think it's not. Don't get me wrong. I think Schoonmaker would have been better in the third or fourth. You know what I'm saying? If he would have made it there.
Yeah.
Other than the second, it's just I think what it is, we hear Schoonmaker get knocked so much. You know, you hear a song that you hate. Yeah. Then you begin to now this song it's great to me now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and that's what we doing right now.
I mean, sometimes you gotta listen to it over and over again. Ice Spice, man, to me, her music ain't all of that though. But Ice, what's her name? Spice Ice or Ice Spice, whatever her name is. The Munch, yeah. I don't even know what she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what she's talking about. But then you're like, all right, and then you see the person, then you see the from where she from and everything, and then you kind of match things together. Then you be like, all right, she got a little bars to her. You know what I'm saying? even though you kind of like, it's all good,
But it's like we was forced to see that, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because our first perception was no way. You know what I mean? Nah, that's not a hit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But that's all I want. That's all I had for you, bro. Hey, where my mix at, man?
Man, you know what? I've been so busy as a bumblebee, man. I forgot what episode it was and what timestamp, man. If you can find the episode and timestamp for me, man, I'm gonna chop it up and put it out there, man. But man, and I'll be doing 3-hour show. I got to go back and watch the 3-hour show to see what time frame it was. But if you can do me a huge favor, give me the timestamp, and I'm gonna chop it up and put it out there, man.
Okay, I got you.
Yes, indeed, man. Somebody said ice
My
trash. Shout out to you, Choctaw. I see you. Appreciate you, man.
Right.
That's Action Jackson, man. Yes, indeed. Ice Spice, man. She got another song now it's kind of like, you be like, all right, okay, all right, it's all right. You know what I'm saying? Where my little gifts at? Where my guy at? I got him somewhere, Jay-Z. I'm going to give him a Jay-Z. Get him a Jay-Z head knock. I think it's this one. Hold on, y'all bear with me, building. Yeah, it's like that. It gets you like, all right. It got you with the Jay-Z face, man. That's before he grew his hair all the way out. But y'all give me what I'm saying. Sometimes, man, you will be listening to a song and you be like, that's how we was. Look, literally, that's how y'all was in this draft. Y'all was like, yeah. That's how y'all was, man. I don't know why I don't want to play all the way through, but y'all get me what I'm saying. Some music get you like that, you know, and then you be like, there's a bar in there, you know. There's a bar up in there, you know. Willie D, man, you're live from the 214, man. Willie! Wake up, Willie! Down, Willie, you know. Willie D, man, you know, I done put the man to sleep, man. The submission hold on got nothing all long, you know what I'm saying? I done NyQuil Willie, man. Let me get him up off of him, man. You know what I'm saying? NyQuil Law over here, man. Gosh, man. All right, man. I'm going to close it out, man, with my guy, man, for the 971, man. JP, you live.
What's happening, Law?
Oh, man, nothing much, man.
Okay, then. Blessed day. You like to drive?
Hey, man, it's feeling right on in, man. I'm like Jay-Z, you know. I'm banging and rocking to it right now, man. I'm looking at how the puzzle fits together, man. I think we got some guys that are going to fight for some spots on this team, and that's all we needed, one or two guys that can fit right on in to compete for the starting role.
They stuck to that defense, didn't they?
They did, man. They you think about it, yeah.
You know why they did that, right?
Defense win championships.
They saw that middle get they saw them get beat down by San Francisco, and they was like, how can we compete with a 500 team, 700 team, man?
Well, you play ball, JP, and you know how it is, man. Nothing more demoralizing than getting ran on, right? And not being able to stop the run. So those two things, man, it would take the heart and soul away from you. Hey, people can say all they want, shooting threes on someone, even in basketball. It's cool, but get dunked on a few times. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's gonna make you feel like, man, I ain't gonna play ball with them no more, man. You know, but the more demoralizing way of getting beat down is getting beat down in the trenches, and hopefully, man, they put an end to all of that with the guys that we got now.
And that's for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that Hankins and that Bohanna, if they don't drop their weight, they're not going to get reps, because it's so important for them to drop that weight and get at least 17 to 19 snaps a game, because oxygen plays a big part in this game.
Talk to him, man.
Michael was wore the hell down, and Sam Williams barely got on the field, and D-Law was wore down in that San Fran game. They couldn't get to that quarterback.
Yep.
So
man, talk to him, man.
If they don't get on something, no kind of nutrition diet, keto or something, because listen, on my show I say all the time, check it out. Yeah. If they already got the manpower already, they already got the strength. It's just dropping that weight to get in shape, to get their body so they can get extra reps, and they can have their hands on their hips.
Yeah.
Not a lot, because hands on the hips means you're tired.
Yeah.
They can be ready if that's all they got to do is get in that weight room.
I'm talking to you that Mississippi Brookhaven style.
I know.
I'm sorry about that, Law. Get in that weight room, get them squats in, 10 reps, 25 times, get them legs together. Get you a roller for your tummy, do them rolls, and drop that weight, and they will be a dominant defensive team.
Yeah, war of attrition, man. I thought it was an epic mistake for Neville Gallimore to gain more size and weight so quickly, right? I thought that, it was good for Big Bo coming down from 360 to about 325 to 330. I thought that was good for him. As far as Big Jonathan Hankins, over the course of the years, he's been slacking a little bit on his overall production, but when he came right on in, I would give him a pass because we saw the girth mattered for him. It's just the fact that, remember, he had got hurt and they thought to bring him back for the playoffs. So the war of attrition, as far as, his overall endurance kind of played a role for him. So hopefully we can do this by the numbers, JP. You get Jonathan Hankins anywhere between 20 to 25 reps or snaps out there on the field. Mozzie, he's the young fish. He get the bulk of the shares, and everyone else can rotate on in there like naturally. I think Osa, he's going to be Osa. I think Osa can give us 6 to 8 sacks this season. It will be phenomenal from the 3-tech.
I'm going to holler at you one more thing before I let you go. Or you let me go. Now, the safety position. Now, I'm worried about, what's his name? The safety number that's getting burned all the time now. We brought him in last year.
Safety.
Year before.
Is it Malik Hooker?
Yeah, Hooker. I'm worried about Hooker. I thought maybe they should have grabbed a safety. Maybe in the, fourth, maybe in the second. Hooker is getting beat over the top. Now, God forbid that happens this year, but Bossman got beat. His feet are not together. And what's his name? Brown. So they didn't have help over the top. They got beat regardless. Maybe the skill set, maybe they didn't set their feet inside good enough to jam them good enough. But Hooker, I'm worried about that. So we'll see how they play out in training camp and the season. But I don't want to – if you listen to Hooker, you got to step your game up, bruh. This your last year if you're listening. We got the defense.
I mean, I feel what you're saying, man.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so,
I feel you.
How you feel about Hooker? Let me know.
Off the top of my dome, he did have 3 INTs last season. Yeah. I thought that he kind of rolled coverage to Diggs' way a little bit too much, and I think that now it don't matter. We got two good DBs on the outside. We shouldn't see those blown coverages and misreads and assignments from Hooker on the top end because he gambled a lot. He gambled. I know what plays you're talking about where I got frustrated with Hooker, but when I went back and looked at it and said, no, he trying to make a play on the ball, and it's just that receiver found a soft spot on the top, and he was able to capitalize. Right. I need my DBs to get more better, though. I said more better. Yeah. I need for my DBs to get better.
Are you talking to Diggs? Are you talking about Diggs?
No. I'm talking about on the other side. Because Diggs didn't allow a lot of plays over the top. And he had his craziest thing, I was saying in my film assessment, that why would you donate to Bill Gates, right? And that's Hooker. Right. He kept rolling to doggone. Now, if I'm fly on the wall, man, I wish I could get in those meetings and see what the world is he thinking about rolling coverages on Diggs' way. Diggs got it. Only one play to Diggs, and technically, it wasn't even Diggs' responsibility on that San Francisco play with Kittles. That was a misread play. The safety supposed to pick him up anyhow. Diggs was just coming over to at least break it up, and he was closing his eyes to tackle Kittles. So the safety.
What are you looking for? What are you wanting?
What are you wanting this year?
Well, what I want press cover. I want my guys. I want aggressive on my corners to be aggressive.
At the end of the season, what do you want? Where do you want to go?
Oh, the Super Bowl. Of course. Where I want to go. I want us to go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But yeah,
we're gonna see how this pans out. Yeah, we're gonna
stop the run.
For sure.
Stop the run. Run the ball and stop the run. If you do those two things, if you can run the ball and stop the run, you're gonna be a team that find yourself making a deep run to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And what the 49ers do? They stop the run and they run the ball pretty well.
Yeah, they did. They had a good.
What do the Eagles do?
DB.
They stopped.
A good DC.
The Eagles stopped the run and ran the ball pretty well. You know what I'm saying? So that's the perfect good recipe. Now I know some people gonna reach out and say, well, what Kansas City Chiefs did? Well, in both of the Super Bowls that they won, they stopped the run and they ran the ball pretty well. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I appreciate you, fam. Thank you so much for calling in. And you stay out of my backyard. You stay out of my backyard. I beat you to it.
Came in the house.
Appreciate you, JP, man.
Oh man. All right, man. Love you, man. Hey, we came in the house, catfish, potato salad, and that kind of thing, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do it down there, baby.
No doubt, man. Shout out to my guy, man. JP, man, good guy, man. Always calling in. Let me see, Willie D, you up? Willie, don't be playing that falling down the stairs stuff again. Your rent due. Hey, he sound like my guy, Boss Cowboy, dropped now. Yeah, man, let me let that. Yes, indeed, boy. Oh my gosh, man. Oh, good old Willie D, man. Appreciate him for calling in, man. Look, it's always good. One more time. All right, man. Y'all had a good time today. Woo! I gave y'all a marathon type of show, man. I really appreciate y'all so much, man, for tuning in. If you didn't like this show,
you must be out of your goddamn mind.
No doubt, man. I hope Willie D is okay, man. Sleep apnea. I need to figure out how to get us a promo from there. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. Are you sleeping well at night? Are you sleeping and waking up and still feeling tired? Are you snoring in your sleep? Well, this app can help you remove all other stress from snoring in your sleep. Call 1-800-LAW. Yeah, I need to get one of those commercials, man. Shortness of breath, snoring in your sleep, those type of things. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to everyone for being part of these episodes. Be sure to smash the like button. Check out what we're doing over here, growing the nation one day at a time. I thank those who got the merch. It's going to bring a tear to my face when you guys, wear the merch and I see y'all with the same merch on, man. I'm like, yeah, man, what's good with you, man? I appreciate y'all so much for that. In departing, be sure if I offended anyone, charge it to my head, not my heart. Be sure, Cowboy Nation, to let people know that this dude, Law Nation, man, from Mississippi, Natchez, Mississippi, population 25 to 28,000, right? Everybody know you by your first and last name. Yes, I know my guy Lombardi's first and last name, right? All they do is just take up one little read and he's like, I know this, man. I know where your mom and them stay at, right? Voch is from the same hometown I'm from, right? One can argue that if it wasn't for Natchez, Mississippi, y'all wouldn't get a third of the Cowboys' information, right? Boy, we roll hard in Natchez. If you really compare and put up the numbers, baby, woo! Let's go. But regardless of the situation and scenario, we are one big family. My guys that's watching this channel and those who are inspired to do the same. I liken it to being able to run a race. You got to plan the course. What's the distance? When you going to start? Where your rest point's going to be at? This is what this is all about. Cowboy Nation, there will be many of those who are out there to try to dim your light. Many of those who will try to blow out your candles so that their light can shine. They would talk about how glorious their teams are, right? They will rub it all over your face on how their team is X, Y, and Z better. But keep this in mind, that in the pathway of them saying that, they gonna put Big D in their mouths because they're comparing their team to ours. And everybody, mama, uncle, cousin know, and Tupac and Biggie climbing out of the grave know that they really want to be like us. The silver and blue with the star on the side of the helmet. So write this down, Cowboy Nation. When you up against the struggles, meet it squarely face to face, lift your chin, set your shoulders, plant your feet and take a brace. When it's vain and try to dodge it, do the best that you can do. You may fall, you may conquer, see it through. Black may be the clouds about you and your future may seem grim, but don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself and fight and trim. If worse is bound to happen in spite of all that you do, remember, running from it will not save you, Cowboy Nation. See this thing all the way through. Like the playmaker, like Troy Aikman. They still hating on the playmaker, by the way. We need to see that brother back on national TV. Y'all let me know when we get a chance and an opportunity to see it. See it through. And if you want a thing bad enough to go out there and fight for it, to work day and night for it, to give up your time, your peace, and your sleep, if all of your desires of it makes you quite mad enough that you don't get tired, and it makes you hold everything tawdry and cheap, if life itself seems empty and useless without it, and all that you scheme and dream is about it, if you will gladly go out there and sweat for it, fret for it, or plan, and lose all terror of your mind, if you would simply, I've been saying this for years, shout out to Brent Burley and Les Brown. If dogged and grim and besieged and beset with the help of Almighty, guess what? You will get it. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Let's go, baby.
Damn.
Yeah.
Give me my theme music.
Come on. Shout out to Patrice. She one of the new mods over here, man. Y'all show a round of applause to Patrice. And let's get it, Cowboy Nation. Let's go. One love. Roll those credits. Look at him. I've been really out here, baby. Run it, baby. Come on.
I just wanna run it up. Kinda check a song.
Dub T, appreciate you. Sadiq, Paul, Brandy, Patrice, appreciate you. DC for life, not for short. 24K, Glenn Capers, 214 Christopher. Let's go. Charge it to the game. Hey, shout out to my guy Choctaw. Shout out to Dallas Cowboy, hard hitter. You gotta say it like me, hard hitter. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to everyone. Hey, Atkins, what's good? Somebody wake Willie D up too, man. Wake up, Willie D.
lost his soul, I keep a hammer.
Call it too legit.
I've been really in the field, love the rush, I love the feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah.
Wake up, Willie!
Kinda check us out.
They shooting.
Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Hey.
Count that too, count it up, count it up, count it up, count it up. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah, I just be off the dome.
Hey.
I never own no chrome. Too many foes and clones. Yeah, I be at home alone. I be in zones alone.
I be on roll alone.
Yeah, I be really in the field. Love the rush, I love the feel. Lately,
I just wanna run it up.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up. Yeah. Kinda check us on.
If you have not checked out my Eric Scott Jr. tape, be sure to check it out. It's on my YouTube, as well as my Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. Is everywhere to the spot that you don't stop. Yes, indeed. Let's go. Willie D, wake up, man. Wake up, Willie. FBI outside, man. They're trying to break your door down.
This is Sparta!
Hey, you want 49ers week 1? Come on. Hey. Ho. Let's go. Let the street lights hit you. Dak, you better watch out. The street light coming. There you go.
Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too? I'll follow wherever you go.
No VIP didn't call today. Shout out to you, madman. They said Beast Mode says Voch Lombardi raid. Y'all can raid the volume. Go ahead, raid the volume. Sleep apnea. That sleep apnea is something real though, Lisa. Appreciate you. One love to Lisa. Sexy. That's a nice name. That's my girl. Come on. Hit you all alone. Hey, it's no shade at AJ Brown. No final word tonight from the fellas. Everybody back to 1 day a week on Tuesday nights. But appreciate you for your support. Shout out to the Lakers. Lakers versus Warriors tonight. Let's go.
If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far.
Lakers stole game 1. I love it. Just need to steal game 2 now.
Stop, thief! Come back, thief!
Yes, indeed. All you got to do now is get into the mind of one of the players over there, and everything else will happen. DC for life, not for short. Salute.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough,